Because we're live.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boot to the head. Nah. Everyone, welcome to the Arcade Hangout, America's longest running live arcade podcast.
On YouTube.
Not Twitch.
Is there other longer running arcade podcasts that are
I don't know, but we
audio ones?
that,
I'm just going with it. Fuck it.
No one's doing shit on YouTube, so that's for old people like us.
We are a group of friends that like to get together once a week and talk about arcade games and ruining Endgame and what else? And Game of Thrones and who dies and who lives on those shows.
Not yet. Not until I watch it.
Cobra Kai spoilers and
Stranger Things.
Yeah. And we talk about scumbag sellers who sell
Bandersnatch.
Yeah, we talk about Bandersnatches. And
we were talking about Bandersnatch 2 months after it came out.
Yeah. I'm gonna ruin The Empire Strikes Back for you. Darth Vader is Luke's father. Don't tell anybody.
Yoda dies.
It is episode 169.
Episode 169. Yes. So, by the way, I heard that in certain theaters that they're coming out. They're before the movie starts for Endgame. They'll come out and they'll have a little speech before the movie starts. And some theaters are doing this, and they're saying, "Hi everyone, thanks for coming. We're glad you've made it. You've come, and we just ask that when you leave the theater that you don't talk about some of the spoilers in it, because what people are doing is they're leaving the theater going, I can't believe that just happened, and then they're like, people are like getting in going, oh no, don't tell me that. Yeah, so
I'm like totally on the fence. Like, I haven't seen it, and
did you see Infinity though? Right,
that's all of them. I've seen the entire. I've seen all of them. I will see it.
Yeah.
However, I don't know how much I give a shit about spoilers. I haven't watched specifically to just find out what happens. I know, obviously, Infinity War ends on a total cliffhanger there, and spoiler alert, half of everyone dies at the end of that one. So I get it. I'm right there. I've read the fucking books. I have, Silver Surfer number 50 with the foil cover and the fucking Thanos with the gauntlet on it. This was back in the fucking early 90s.
Yeah.
I get it. I haven't seen the movie yet, but
I know the gauntlet stuff from the video game, from the X-Men video game. You battle Thanos at the end with the Infinity Gauntlet. Which one is that? That's the Infinity Gem one. Is that the first? I think it's Marvel Superheroes is the name of it. That's a Capcom fighter like X-Men. I mean, Street Fighter. You know what I'm talking about, right? No. Anyone? Hello?
I wanted to let you run with that.
Am I alone here?
You teamed on a roll, so.
But no, you actually fight Thanos at the end of that, and that one you can actually use the Infinity Gems as you're playing the game. You can use recover or power or all the stones from this is all from the comic. This is from the 90s. Remember? So they even show Lady Death, I believe, in that one, which wasn't in the movie. Because the reason in the comics Thanos kills everybody.
Are we doing spoilers?
No, this is comic book spoilers.
All right.
For Infinity War. If you haven't seen Infinity War yet, eat shit.
Which I haven't.
I didn't fucking watch it.
You said
I'm not talking about Endgame. I'm not talking about Endgame.
I'm the one who hasn't seen Infinity Wars yet, but that's okay. I'll live with it.
Okay, well, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the comic book.
Comic book, which I will never read the comic book.
No, most people won't. But the reason why he does the thing with the gauntlet is because he's in love, infatuated with Lady. I think it's Lady, not Lady. Is it Lady Death or Death? It's a lady who's death.
I don't know.
And he wants to impress her.
I didn't really read a whole lot of the Marvel stuff because I like comics for grown-ups. Which is why I read DC.
You just insulted half the population out there.
Yeah, fuck you guys. Keep going to those movies. I know DC makes a shitty movie since Batman, so I get it. But
hey, Mark, you're all fuzzy.
Am I?
Sometimes. Or is it just our connection, or what's going on?
I don't know. Am I fuzzy to everybody else?
It
Oh.
focuses in.
You're a little on the
Yeah.
dark side. It seems a little dark.
Maybe
so
some more
it's having-
lighting. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
more
have
lighting
good-
would be able to focus better.
I don't have good lighting in here.
It's like your monitor light is basically all you're lit by.
Yeah, and I have a little light up here. This room is like dark as hell.
That's
Yeah, I don't know what to do about that.
Just tell Alexa to turn the lights up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alexa,
Yeah.
lights on. She doesn't listen ever.
Yeah.
Alexa,
That bitch
podcast
isn't
mode.
working.
Alexa, you suck. Anyway, we're a group of friends that like to get together and talk about fun stuff. And I am one of your hosts, Mock. And Gleek is here, Carrie's here, 34K is here, Seabart is here, and hopefully we'll have a few others like Jimbo Daney.
He was
And
buying
Gag
the gin and the
Attack.
whiskey, so
He was logging in.
Yeah,
I have faith in Jim Bodine tonight.
and sometimes we have
Yeah, he was ready.
yeah,
Yes,
he was
people-
properly prepped.
He
If he's making drinks out of those,
yeah,
What-
it's
what are
always
these-
gonna be a night when there's gonna be a lot of sound effects,
yeah,
or he'll go rage play games. Don't know it.
There's Jimbo.
Maybe.
Boot to the head.
I want
to
to
the
hear
head.
more about this gin and this whiskey you guys were talking about on Slack.
Gin and
That
juice.
sounds- yeah,
Alexa, tell a joke.
I want to hear more about Jim and Juice.
What did
Yeah.
0 to 8? Nice belt.
We did a
Here's an
Turn off your speak and spell. God damn.
A-I-E-E.
I'm sorry,
O,
incorrect.
O. That is correct.
Oh, man.
Please spell cat.
E-I-O-R. Oh man, speak and spell, man. Kids don't know what speak and spell is today.
No,
They didn't have fun with
no,
that.
okay. Yeah,
Not
they'd
even
be like Google Translate. Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
They get like a Wally reference to like some of the '80s stuff, but yeah.
I think
Wally.
some kids might know speak and spell just because they saw it in the movie E.T. That's about it, right?
Is that still a thing for kids nowadays, though?
I know. Do kids even watch
E.T. was like a huge part of our childhood, but like, did
yeah,
kids
they don't even
give a
know
shit about
that, probably. No, they
Do
probably
they even know
watch-
who Spielberg is?
Nah, I know. They watch like SpongeBob, the movie,
Right? They're like,
Teletubbies.
Power Rangers, the
and
movie.
you're like, oh, Ready Player One, and they're like, yeah, who?
Spielberg. Yeah, there we
Oh
go.
my
Oh,
God.
nice.
R.
R.
Of course, Gleek has one of those at his phone.
Yeah.
Right there
Do you
too.
have
Not even
math
like-
and
Go
spell?
mock.
So I wish Speak and Spell would say the whole word. It just says
don't.
letters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you learned about it. There's 2 ROMs in there, and each ROM is capable of like only, I think, 100 words. And there is a site. It's the coolest site ever that someone can actually hack that ROM, rewrite and program new words onto the ROMs, and you can use it to do new things.
Right, but you could only like rewrite 10 or 100 new words, right?
Yes,
It's like
correct.
it can only handle so many words.
Correct.
You are a dick.
I'm sorry, too many letters.
I like playing Hangman on it. That's really
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember Hangman on that. Do you have a math and spell
Right.
or math? What is it?
No,
math
that Speak and Spell is the only one I have, the original.
or speak and math? Is that the other
Nope.
one?
Yeah, it's the other one. I don't have it.
What's it called?
Speak and Math.
It is speak and math. Okay, yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, those
It had a gray.
calculators.
It had a gray box, right?
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. How the calculator looked like an owl.
All my shit's missing.
Remember
behind
that?
me. Did you guys notice? That's what like all my little knickknacks were behind me.
Mm.
So now they're all in
Oh.
front of you.
Yeah. and-
Oh, you can't see them.
You just turned your camera around. Is all you did. Yeah, good job, dude. Thanks.
Yeah.
So
What did you do with Elvira?
Elvira's still hanging up. We have 3 floors, so when you go up the stairs, Elvira's on the floor coming up wall. Is
So
that-
Why
you're-
do you have so many copies of Front 242?
well,
that
I
just-
have a lot of industrial stuff, like thousands of things. So
I know, but you picked 3 albums to nail to your wall with thumbtacks.
those are 12-inch covers, I think. So, yeah. and
It's great. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Front 242. I'm
Monk
just,
Nuts above it, and I'm
And
a super big fan of Front 242.
yeah.
And your separator to hide your junk is now part of your junk.
That sounds really perverse, actually.
Does that mean that he's showing us his junk?
Yeah, this is Hide Your Junk show.
Normally, he lets his junk hang out as part of the Arcade Hangout. His junk hang out.
Well, it is a hangout.
But
It's
Oh,
literal sense.
That's all.
however, now he's like whitewashed his junk.
No, they're
have we done our disclaimers tonight?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
hold on. I got.
We're
Speaking of that, I
waiting
gotta
for
get another drink. I'll be right back.
Well, I'm going to order a pizza.
all too white. I'll be self hanging up soon.
It's like everybody left us,
I know.
right?
Hey, Carrie. How you doing?
Hey.
That's a
Hi, guys.
pretty pink sweater. Is that it?
Yeah, kind of a
Not really a
actually, you know,
blouse, yeah.
it's a sweater. It's actually a little more red, but it probably doesn't show. And when I put it on tonight, I was like, oh, you know what? I think the reason why I'm drawn to the red sweater is because I've been working, almost done with first draft of the Christmas song.
Oh yeah.
Because-
I'm so glad you weren't going to make a crack about like, oh, it matches the bloodshot in my eyes from all the hard work I've been doing. Which is normally the story, right?
Yeah, exactly. That too. But no, so I've been walking around and humming Christmas songs. I won't say which one, but a song in particular for the last
women's underwear.
How can you top?
No, we already did that one, I think.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that was last year's.
Yeah, but last is too good.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
sure that the people in my office love it too, because I'm kind of like, I'm kind of singing it under my breath. And so I'm almost all the way done with draft one, but it gives you an idea of how early. Like I was like, oh shit, it's already May. I better get this thing done.
Is it like Gat got ran over by a frogger or something?
Oh my god, I think I have my song for December 2020.
That's 2020, yeah.
Staring at the 2084.
You could do a good one.
that actually has tremendous
I saw
potential.
34 kissing super sprint.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was terrible.
Yeah. Not there was flow, but no.
Yeah, no, I know. I stumbled. That's why I don't do karaoke.
That's why I love doing karaoke.
Nice. Dude.
That's what we need at Grinker. That's what we need at Grinkfest.
No, we don't.
Karaoke machine.
No,
Yeah, we
no,
do.
no. However, I would be 100% about like taking the karaoke people out to do a karaoke thing
Yes.
at Grinkers while Grinkers goes on.
There you go.
But I don't want that at Grinkers because
Karaoke bar, Eagle, Idaho. With you in a sec.
Yeah.
all right, Jim's on it. Or sorry, Chris
You
is
can't
on
have
it.
too much distractions. You can't like put in a DJ. You can't have a band.
No,
Yeah, there's no
This
there's no
is like a wing contest. This is like a
Exactly.
side event.
little
thing.
side. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is just for exhibition. Please, no wagering.
We disappear for a couple hours, and
Yeah.
someone comes back really embarrassed,
Exactly.
and we all come back really drunk. So
Yeah.
it's like we never left.
All right, I added light in the room. Is that better?
Oh, it's so much.
Hey, yeah, actually it is.
Is my
Nicely
face
done.
redder?
Yeah.
It's the alcohol, I swear.
You look so rosy, Steve.
Yeah. Yeah, what are you drinking, Steve? That
This
looks
is
like
my
a
Pac- This is my Pac-Man glass. You can see Pac-Man clearly right there.
Yes. Well, he's disintegrating because one of the ghosts has just gotten him.
Yeah, there he is. There's the other half of him.
That's a terrible. Oh my god.
So that's just with hand washing.
What the hell did you do to that
This is
thing?
the sponge
wow.
side, not the scraper side. The sponge side, I just went like this real carefully. It
Oh
just came
man.
off in like flakes.
That's like
I'm like,
some
oh
sort of
my God.
demonic Pac-Man.
Are you gonna apply the sidewalls to that?
I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's so bad. Like here, what? I'll just stick my finger.
Oh,
Does it come off?
I
No,
love,
no.
I love
Oh,
the
this is
sound.
the strong side. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was the guest we had on, the other Steve, that guy that would sell stuff. He's the one that I bought that from. I was gonna give him shit about that, but
Which Steve?
I forget his last name. Remember he was on? He's the one that was talking about he was friends with Damon and has his own arcade games and stuff. You don't remember that?
No, I do, but I haven't placed it yet. So
Yeah, but he's a nice guy.
Okay.
But yeah, he sells a lot of cool, interesting things at his. We see him at trade shows, So,
We had a lot of vendors on here. We had that guy Milestar that sold a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We had the guy who makes the Nintendo
Oh, yeah.
crazy awesome.
Jim Bodini, sorry, because you were here, maybe someone else remembers. What's Milestar's first name?
Steven or
Steve.
Stefan.
So that's
Stefan.
that's
Steven,
him.
right?
All right, thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh, so that's the guy you're talking about then.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Stephen
hopefully
Beal.
I'm gonna see him in a couple
Yeah.
weeks at
Just
the Rocky
check out.
Mountain show. So
Oh, nice.
I want to say hi, but I'd like to introduce myself first name.
Cool.
Hi, I'm representing Steve.
I'm Carl.
I'm representing Mock, who needs a replacement glass.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hi, Steve. I'm 34K.
I'm a
Get
fan.
right in his face.
I'm a huge fan.
Just hover around him.
I rebuilt my 720 because of you.
Do you have part 42-36?
Yeah,
It's
right.
Atari. Yeah. Just start listing off.
He'd probably know too.
He'd probably know. Yeah.
Do you think 2K is too much for Robotron?
How much is too much for Robotron with vinyl side art?
Just go up to him and go, price check.
What would you pay for a Robotron with vinyl side art?
Do you see Slick Nick? He's all, Mock, this is for you.
Yeah.
Like, well, no.
No. Not so much.
Maybe you should get paid with Slick Nick.
What's the price? Nope, it's not for me.
Nope.
No.
There's one up in Michigan right now for 2K as well.
Yikes.
What a coincidence, huh? A nice looking one. Did you see Zyla selling some of her arcade?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I feel
talked about that a
bad
little bit.
about that. Let's
Not
talk about
really
Zyla
bad.
in her move.
Baby
Yeah.
Pac-Man's a bit pricey.
I don't like she's
I think
selling
Baby
off
Pac-
her,
yeah.
her stuff. I guess the place she's going
I would
to
like that.
doesn't
I
have
would
room.
like that
for
baby
it.
pack, but for like half the price.
Yeah, 1,800. She's got it listed for her. She has a.
And what about, is it Moon Patrol up too? And that's
Moon
Yeah,
Patrol's
950.
900, I think.
950 and Looping
950,
for
yeah.
900.
some people really. I mean, I like Moon Patrol, but I don't know.
I mean, I'd say Moon Patrol is like a $700 game.
Yeah,
In-
that's
in
like
good,
6 or 7 to me.
in good shape.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my God, who would buy a DDR machine? Dance Dance Revolution 7th mix.
Helicopter Jesus, probably.
Yeah, but where do you stick your finger?
I don't, if I had, oh God,
Sorry.
I don't even want to talk now. I'm like, oh, that
I had no
place.
smart response to that one.
Yeah.
Long-term listeners of the show would get that.
Yeah.
I'll just say Helicopter Jesus, Bunga Bunga, look it up. There you go.
Yeah.
The arcade
All
game.
those words
Bunga
together.
Bunga. Yep.
It's an insider story.
And all you have to do is look up the show for our show, Helicopter Jesus. I think it's in the title.
Yeah.
We used to title our shows till someone dropped the ball and
Mhm.
Decided to open up an arcade.
Yeah.
No, like,
I didn't do-
What a
Having a life and
loser.
a business.
started to like make a whole life for himself.
I was
Yeah.
lied to this show.
Yeah. What the hell?
What's important here?
So selfish.
Yeah,
Speaking of which,
priorities.
sounds like his arcade's going to open soon. Orange Cliff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bullshit. No, I'm just kidding.
His he posted that all his inspections went well, and I think he's almost done. So, Necros, hey Brad, past inspection. Yeah. So when he does a real opening, it'd be kind of cool to see it again with people in it and stuff. He should do a live show walkthrough with people in there. and
He should
stuff.
have all of us up there.
Yeah, he should have us up there.
Yeah.
I already
Maybe he-
talked-
Yeah,
My
maybe he
wife would
let us
actually
play
love
for
it.
What's out with all that
play for
extra
free.
income?
Yeah, he let us play for free for the day, and half
I know.
price on the
Nachos?
nacho.
On the nacho bar.
Nacho bar.
I'm
The
I'm
poutine
boycotting
bar.
until it's yeah, but see it's It's not
I
poutine
know,
anymore.
I
I'm
know.
boycotting.
Wu-Tang.
I want the fire escape
Tang
special.
bar.
Yeah,
What does
They're
what does
just
that
lined
smell
up,
like?
ready.
that's a few blocks away, I think.
Fish
Different-
tacos.
I want the fire escape nachos.
Oh,
Is that too soon?
Oh man,
Um,
Yeah.
never.
Fuck you,
Never
Dave.
too late.
Fuck you, Dave Nachos. That's what they're called now.
Did you guys like my remix
That
of the
poutine
menu?
is hot.
Did you guys see the remix I made of the Grinkers menu items?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that
was
was
awesome.
brilliant.
I
I
forgot
loved
that.
it.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
it
was- tell you
emailed
about
it to me,
that.
and I was like immediately like, I gotta fucking send this to the guys.
Well-
And I know you were on that list too, so
Yeah.
you see it too. But I was like,
Oh,
dude, why are you holding this shit back? Fucking send it to these guys.
Yeah, that's
These
great.
was on IRC. This was like 3 a.m, and we were talking about the sandwiches, and Steve said something about number 11 or whatever. He's like, fuck 11, and then I'm like, why don't you just call it fuck 11? And he said I should just rename all the menus, all the items. And so like half hour later, I presented with him. He started like cracking up hard.
That's amazing.
But this is on your IRC chat, like the one that we have for the show.
Yeah, the show. Yeah.
Does
I
it just
don't-
run and people are in it all the time, or what?
Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, my IRC. Yeah, people are in my IRC 24/7.
Yeah, I log in here sometimes on like random like Tuesday
Yep.
nights. Wait, no, it's Tuesday night. But like Thursdays and shit. These people are talking here all the
Yeah.
time.
Just pop on
Really?
it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of weird.
You guys are bored. Want IRC? This shit.
So some people might even be in here and they don't even know there's a podcast going on.
Yeah. Right.
we should post in here. The
They just-
podcast started.
They just think that we just show up every Tuesday to chat in the IRC.
No, we're invading them. It
yeah.
really is their channel, and we just
Yeah,
come
the
in here
same-
once
these-
a week and
the
fuck their
same
shit
like
up.
8 to 10 fuckers come in here every Tuesday, and
They're like having a good
Annoy
time
the
by
hell out of
themselves.
All
And
right.
all of a
Did
sudden
you want to present that? Anybody? I posted it in IRC.
you have to.
No.
I don't know if we. I mean, if someone wants to bring it up, fuck it. If you bring it up on your computer, I'll present you. But you got to bring it up on your computer.
All right, hold on. Screen share.
the menu, yeah.
Screen.
Yeah. Although I think I want mine renamed to "Fuck Wednesdays."
Yeah, well, it's a work in progress, man.
And India and Wyoming.
Yeah, Fuck Wednesdays, India, Wyoming, and
yes.
So I mean, I kind of themed them after us and
And
other
vinyl.
and kind of like
Side
Jimbo
art.
into
yeah, I'll give vinyl side art. Go to hell.
Jimbo Kai No Mercy, you know, kind of like after that, you know.
Jimbo Kai.
Yeah.
Jimbo Kai.
Right, yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, this is actually what the Grinkers menu looks like.
Yes.
And
So if you're
DJ
able to make it up to Grinkers,
DJ Flask is from Australia, so he got a no Vegemite here.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
I mean, orange whips and chains, you know.
because
Yeah.
zero people would order a Vegemite sandwich, including.
Mr. Dave from Buffalo, you know, instead of
VR1.
I like it's in the
Culture
same
of,
font too.
yeah, Clint Taurus, Clint
Why don't you grow an ass?
throw an ass for Buffett, skeleton spicy dick.
Yeah.
That'll fly, but
Dude, that number 7 actually was the one that actually made me laugh out loud. That one actually
You know,
made me
Yeah,
laugh.
me too.
I know Farmers says fuck 8. That's the one he said fuck 8.
Fuck 8.
Oh,
That's
Oh,
a shitty
nice.
sandwich. I don't even know
oh
why I have
he
it on the
doesn't.
menu.
Is he not? He's not a fan of number 8
Well,
then.
because there's no meat. So
There
he
is
said
no meat.
fuck 8.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
that's funny.
It's
Yeah, it's all
a,
it's cheese and avocado is your.
So there's a lot of fucking in this menu.
vegetarian's
Yeah,
dream.
thank
I
Heart
guess.
9.
Dude, what happens if you order a number 8 Steve's way?
Nice.
That would break the kitchen.
That's
You would
Ten-
get so many avocados.
fucking
Yeah,
Steve
extra
Art.
avocados. 10 it has to be called. I'll give her a fucking 10.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Gax attacks on menus. That's like Attack on Mars kind of a thing. Mock's main Sammy.
That one's pretty good.
Friday the 34th K. And Carrie's Dead Witch. I don't know how I got that, but Carrie's
But I would say having him number 4. It's 14 because that is my favorite sandwich.
well, they say it's Zed, and you know Zed Witch.
I don't think I've had a 14. Is it pretty good?
Oh my God! Yes, it's the best. Yeah,
Oh, I'm
number
surprised.
No.
Yeah.
Number 7 is
All right.
14 no onions. That is my sandwich.
No
Yeah,
onions.
warm pepperoni and cheese. Yeah, no, it's really good.
Wow.
Sorry, oh.
I like my meat warm. I'm gonna say that. I like hot meat. I don't want my meat cold.
Then of course,
Hot meat all the way.
Hot
No.
all the way.
for Gleek's
Then
Elvira
wouldn't you be a
special.
necrophilia?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's perfect for you, dude. Like
That-
that. That's,
Again, work in progress. I don't even know if Steve is serious about this. It was just
I'm sure he's not, but it's still
Yeah.
hilarious.
it's still
Yeah.
good. Well,
I mean, he
I bet
can't
he-
actually put that on the bar.
No,
He
you
won't,
couldn't.
But, yeah,
But that'd be a good grab bag item though for fun.
oh, for our viewers, that's how our IRC looked like.
Oh no, I think if we just refine that just a little bit, some people made some tweaks to their names, or people wanted to like put in their input.
Yeah.
If we put that like as a printout just in the grab bags for the VIPs, that would be really fun.
Yep.
That's a great. I would put that on the wall.
Yeah, just keep some that you like and change others. Like I said, it was just a spur of the moment thing.
Yeah, it's
No,
fun.
I mean it can't.
I like
it can't be a public thing, but it could totally be
Yes.
a thing for everyone in
Because
the
I don't
arcade.
think you
And
can legally sell a skeleton spicy dick as a menu item.
dude, we might have to censor some things there, but that one needs to be on the menu. That one literally that was the one that was like I fucking laughed hard at that when I was like spicy dick. Oh my god.
Well, because the original sandwich had spicy in it or something. I think.
It actually would be funnier.
Spicy Italian. Let's go.
Spicy Italian.
Yeah, that's my favorite sandwich, Carrie.
Ah,
Yeah,
I had that one a lot.
I love spicy Italians. And,
And Mexicans.
I do like the spicy again.
and Mexicans.
That's a spicy meatball.
Spicy Mexicans give me heartburn.
Holy shit, who's that? Flask? Yep.
Hey,
Oh
Holy
my
yeah.
gosh, coming at
It is Rod McLarge.
coming at you from down under.
Atcha.
DJ, did you see the menu that had your thing on it?
I just saw it now. That's amazing. That's so goddamn good. I'll
Is it
bring
true
Steve some
every-
Vegemite.
Is it true every Australian loves Vegemite because they grow up on it? Is that true?
No, a lot of people don't like it here
Yeah.
even.
Because that's the grossest shit fucking known to man.
It's like someone.
Uh,
It's foul.
it's the best hangover cure ever.
Well, so
If it doesn't get you drunk, it is not the best thing of
my Australian friend of mine, she lived out here for a while and then moved back to Sydney. But when she was out here, she was bummed because she learned that she had a gluten allergy, and so she couldn't and so she was looking for gluten-free Vegemite, and I guess they actually sell such a creature.
Last year.
She said it's not as good, but it's as close as she can get is with I'm like, oh, you have to really like Vegemite to go for gluten-free Vegemite.
How's it taste,
motherfucker?
Terrible.
Like shit.
I love it. I really like Vegemite personally, but that's just
All right. So answer me this, and maybe we've covered this in the show before. Is there a difference between Vegemite and Marmite?
Yeah, Vegemite is yeast extract. Marmite isn't it like beef based? Isn't it, or is it?
I don't know. They
That's
both taste like
over.
asshole.
I
Yeah,
think what that stuff is you take a beer, you dehydrate it, and you add a ton of salt, and that's what you get.
Pretty much.
Wait, but I like beer and I like salt.
So
Why is
there's
So
this
you
not,
should like Vegemite.
Why is that so
why is
foul?
this not a chocolate and peanut butter moment?
You like beer
Well,
salts?
people put it on too thick. You've just got to have a thin layer of it. That's what the problem is.
Ugh.
So
Well, all I've ever had it was in the UK.
What about
and
peanut
it was,
butter and Vegemite sandwiches? Are those good?
no, I would never say I've tried that. And don't think I would. Vegemite and cheese is good.
That's like a peanut butter and jellyfish sandwich. That's fucking terrible.
What about Vegemite
Would you
sushi?
eat that?
I've actually had Vegemite beer that they made here once. That was actually pretty interesting.
Beer?
And they made Cadbury made a Vegemite chocolate for a while, but it didn't sell well at all.
Cadbury.
Oh, imagine that.
Willy
Yeah.
Wonka.
Aussie Cadbury. That's some good stuff there.
That is some good stuff.
I'll bring a heap over then.
Please bring, because
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
the last time I had that was the last time I was in Oz,
Yeah, down in went to the factory there on what was outside of Melbourne. Yeah. What?
Oh, really?
so I went to the one in Tassie.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I meant.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. Tasmania. Yep. Because we had taken the ferry. We
Yep,
came out of
you have to take a
Melbourne.
ferry
Yeah.
to it.
Yep. Exactly. Oh, that was fun.
All right,
What?
I'll bring a heap
Yeah,
of
did we go to
chocolate.
that crazy art museum? By the way, to the
MoMA?
in Tasmania.
Which
No?
is
MoMA? Goma.
Yeah, yeah.
I went to an art museum there. We went to,
Oh.
nature preserves. That's where I was all about.
No,
Jazz.
you-
Like going.
Yeah.
I wanted to pet some koalas and smell the hand.
Yep. Yeah.
That smells like eucalyptus.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Isn't that poisonous?
Probably. I don't care. I didn't lick it. I just
Yeah.
smelled
It
it.
gets in it.
You didn't eat the koala. You didn't have
I
like
wasn't like-
the spit.
Petting a koala and
Roasted.
jerking off.
Yeah. Don't wipe your bottom with it if you take a shit.
Oh, it's like the most furious gold bond ever.
Oh.
I have a question for Gleek real quick.
Yo.
Okay, so on our show live right now, we have 13 people watching right now.
Yes.
How many people in this room on the show right now have it on their on their
I just
computer?
answered your question in IRC. I listen to people who are not listening.
Yeah, because there's 28 people in the IRC.
Well, there's only six though, not listening.
They don't give a shit about this.
I just think that's funny
They're
that
just here
they're-
hanging out.
Yeah, they're like,
We're not
what?
listening
There's
to
a
the
podcast going on.
They don't give a shit about us.
They'll
So
talk.
there's all these like
They're here
references we're talking about.
24/7.
I think that's
This
funny.
is a 24/7 IRC. You guys just invade us at once a week. It's cool.
Oh, Gleek says Time Killer,
The Arcade
Kenya.
Invaders.
Mr. Wobble, Ricky.
Welcome to the
That's
Arcade
lower on.
Invaders.
Well,
We'll invade your IRC. soon.
Eeyore is on club, but he's been on my IRC for years, never says a word. Mr.
Oh,
Wobble
good.
just got his first arcade game. And
Dell's Arcade.
well, Banana, whatever his name is, he's from
Hammock.
the RGVAC or IRC. So the only three people that will probably never listen is Ricky Solarian. Time Killer tuned in once, I think, to us.
Wait, he was over at my
Yeah,
house.
you talked to him a lot. He lived in Denver.
Well, he
Time
came
Killer.
over here and he played these
Yeah.
games.
So there you go. So two people, Mock, don't join our show. Out of the whole.
Fuck off.
There you go.
You bunch of cunts.
You know what's funny? Dell's Arcade's like, I don't listen to that show, but yet I promote his channel on our show all the time. What a dick.
I wouldn't fucking listen. Dude, please don't listen to the show.
I like his
Please-
YouTube
Yeah.
channel
Please do not
Yeah.
listen to our show.
anymore.
Cunt.
And would this be a good time
Okay.
for the disclaimer, even though we're not about to start eating, but we are
Delusionals, I'm a pussy.
Oh yeah, we got to do our disclaimer list.
we-
Oh,
we-
yeah, go ahead.
we are urging people not to watch the show. So perhaps
Did you
this
do
would
a
be good time.
lawyery one?
As
Oh,
lawyer
you did. All right. Our attorney
That's right.
on our show.
after having some issues and some discussion, we realized that it might be best that we issue some sort of advisory or warning.
We're like a half hour into it now.
It's never too late to be warned, because you know it's only going to get worse from here, right? Because when my daughter's going to come home any minute, I'm going to make dinner. All right, so
It doesn't take
Here-
that long to make top ramen.
I've been holding off on all my fart sound effects. just for this.
Excellent. Then, in that case, please be advised that the Arcade Hangout is not a show and not originally intended for audiences. Benefits to watching the Arcade Hangout are minimal, and you may experience adverse side effects, including but not limited to wasting part of your life, questioning your decision making, and liver damage. The viewers and listeners of the Arcade Hangout will be exposed to the visuals and/or auditory sounds of eating, drinking, vaping, and burping. Instances of exposure to the noise of farting and urination are rare but have been reported. Those sensitive to the broadcasting of such activities are advised to immediately cease and desist all participation in this podcast. If while watching the Arcade Hangout, you experience signs of nausea, dizziness, or the urge to vent your spleen on social media about your disgust at the broadcast, you may be having an adverse reaction to the Arcade Hangout and are urged to grow a spine. If you experience an erection lasting more than 4 hours, that's probably unrelated to the Arcade Hangout, but we'd love to hear about it. Please contact us about being a guest. You have been advised.
Nice.
Tell us about your boner.
I think I covered it all.
We can play that all we want because we didn't get flagged last time.
That's true.
Yeah, if you want to speak to a lawyer, remember it's 1-800 eat shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat
I
a
think
bag
next
of
time,
dicks.
I think next time we should have the text and throw that up on the screen.
I know. I was saying
That
like
would be-
we should do like Carrie's version of the disclaimer, but we do it really, really fast.
Yeah, just
like record
scrolling
it
text
and-
like really quick.
Well, no, I was thinking like a radio
She
show,
should read it.
right?
No,
yeah, the radio
she should
commercial.
read it.
They
We'll
cram it in the
record
end.
it. Yeah, we'll record it.
Yeah,
And then we'll have it. Well, I'll just speed up the tempo in like Adobe Audition.
yeah.
Yeah.
As as I could.
Like
I still
micro
barely understand it. Like 50% faster.
That's
or
basically
maybe
your
more.
sign off.
a radio ad.
And if you're
Yeah.
offended or
Yeah,
want to
like,
like comment on
like-
Facebook about some shit that we do
No,
on the
I
show,
would.
fuck
What
off.
would actually be even better would be to play that before the intro music, like at the very
Oh.
beginning. Like,
Oh,
Ideally, yeah.
Warning.
it's like
Well, we can.
that whole thing.
What? You got the record?
What? Yes. Dude, you guys gotta own this vinyl, man.
Oh my God, he has the record too. I
have
am
a lot of
shocked. You got
Talking in
everything.
movie shows, people smoking in bed.
When
You
did
probably
you
got a
fucking
boonga
buy
boonga
that,
back
Mike?
there.
Oh, don't tell helicopter Jesus. He'll go.
Mike, you
he'll
changed
hunt
your
Mike
hair.
Yeah.
I love that
I
picture
forgot
on
the
that cover
plastic, but
too.
he has a foot
Look
imprint.
at- Yeah, I love it. It's
The boots.
awesome.
Yeah. Where and when did you buy that fucking album?
I have
Last week.
thousands of albums, man.
Where and when
He
did you
bought it
buy
last
that
week.
album?
Or you can buy
eBay
it-
last week.
You can buy
After I heard your show, I was a fan.
Yeah,
it.
God damn it.
sales of that album went up 110%.
Yeah, you do it to Vectrex, and now you do it to the album. You
I've been
asshole.
looking for that my whole fucking life since middle school, 1980.
Check eBay or Discogs, man. They probably got them up. It's not an expensive record. You could probably get it for under $10. No kidding.
All right, the first fan to send me a link to buy that fucking album.
Hey, let's see the back of the album. We never see that.
Oh, the back of the album?
Yeah.
There's like a
Oh
whole
shit.
bunch of fucking
Oh, there
shit
they
on it.
are.
Oh, we get to see what they look like.
All these guys are just comedians.
I know. They're like Second
Yeah.
City kind of
There's
people.
like,
That's-
well,
that's
just go
all
to
they ever
TikTok.
were.
They'll show you the whole thing better than I can show you.
They're my friends in childhood.
Yeah.
So
I looked up to.
good songs on here are
Yeah.
"Speak Up Dirty Words," "You People Are Fat."
That one actually is a really fucking good.
Yeah, it's
one
about
to have
Weight
one, too.
Watchers.
Yeah, the Weight
You
Watchers
Scare
one.
the Shit Out of Me is good.
I lost 10 pounds.
80 pounds he lost it, and his diet was he replaced all foods with scotch.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
All right.
That's like our diet plan.
Wait, the CD is that a bootleg CD that you just posted, Brian? For
Wait, let me-
$21.
Freaking posting.
I'll buy that shit right now.
Oh
I
my
know if
God,
that's real.
Andrew's drunk buying again. Watch
No,
out.
no, no.
I know this is super early in the show. Holy
I'm-
shit! You're gonna end up with
Yeah,
a $2,000 Robotron with vinyl side art.
Yeah.
I
Got a
might be,
Devo hat back there.
I might be buzzed buying, but I'm not drunk buying. But
Yeah.
I want to know: is it $21 for a proper CD, or is that just some bootleg boot
No,
to bed?
don't get that one. Don't get that one.
Yeah,
All
look
right,
for the
fucking send me
vinyl.
the link to the right one.
Do not get that one.
I've got.
I'm sure Gleek's
Good
got a
record
couple of
player.
them. He hoards that much shit.
All right, send me a real fucking link to a proper non-bootleg version of that fucking thing.
I do not need prizes or anything. I will give you the link for free right now in IRC. There you go. 3 are up for sale right now. They're all under $30. There's one for $10.74. There's one for $15, and they are not bootlegs.
Do you have a record player to play it out?
Oh yeah.
Andrew?
Yeah,
I got one.
I don't have one.
I'm an ex-DJ.
These will be
Oh,
going-
that's right.
So,
I've got a Techniques fucking MK2.
Oh, that's my daughter has a
Ooh,
bunch of shit. Like
nice.
that.
I have a two of those.
did you get the link, Andrew?
Yes, I did.
Man.
That one for $10.74 is a good deal. Shit.
Tune in next week when we all have our own boot to the head record.
Record player.
We'll play at the same time.
But the one
Okay, well, everybody raise your hand. Who has a boot to the
Place
head
order.
album?
This is going to cost me $10.74.
Who
All right.
can play it on a record player? Who doesn't have a record player yet?
Sorry, I got the cheap knockoff. It's called Shoe to the Head, and it's just not
This is a special moment for me.
It's a kitty version.
Come on, guys.
We're here to share this with you.
You know, this all happened. I just said something in.
I'm not even kidding. So we had the who was it on
Slap to the head, punch to the
Yeah.
head,
Yeah.
talk
God
softly
damn it.
to the head,
kick to the nuts.
Yeah, it's a song by Neil Diamond. Yeah.
pillow to the head.
Yeah.
Forever moving.
Oh yeah, Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
What the
Sorry,
fuck?
that was a
Where
joke.
is the 5-volt adjustment on this stupid thing?
That's what I was wondering.
That's what she said.
Can you talk about some arcade games for a second?
Yeah.
Because this is getting boring.
I'm at yeah.
So
Trying to
so
figure out-
Gleek,
well.
have you played your new joystick much with Vectrex?
I did. I played the Spike guy. Spike.
Oh yeah. With the-
Yeah, that's my favorite game for Vectrex. I love Spike.
Oh, Spike! I told you Spike was good.
I played it when I was a kid.
Yeah. What do you play
Oh,
most on, Carrie? What do you play most on yours?
I was
Wars.
that guy, Carrie, and just
What? Wars?
Web Wars.
Oh, Web Wars. Oh, That
Yeah.
looks cool. That looks fun.
Yeah, that was
That should have been an arcade game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't really got to much of the games on the multi-cart. Just not enough time in the day.
Ever since Carrie showed us her Vectrex, I've been looking on Craigslist for Vectrex. They're always like $400, $500.
Yeah, added.
I got one last year, Mark.
Vectrex before she
You
got it.
did?
Yeah, I picked one up last year for.
Oh,
I think I
shut
paid
up.
A little bit under $5.
No!
No way.
Yeah.
God.
You're
The guy didn't
fired.
want it
Get off
anymore.
our show.
So, yeah, he didn't like it.
Is that
So
is
he's
that
like,
$5 Australian? So
$5 Australian.
so
It was
it was like
whatever
a
change
dollar?
I had in whatever change I had in my pocket. I can't even remember what it was.
Oh my God.
belly button lint.
And a
Damn.
jar of Vegemite.
That's like hamburger price.
Yeah.
How much is a jar of Vegemite?
Yeah.
Starbucks is more expensive.
Vegemite's like
Yeah.
3 something. Let's
Yeah, it
Vegemite and
depends.
some fries.
It depends on the size you're gonna get. You can get a 2.5 kilo bucket of Vegemite. So,
Gross.
yeah.
That's the sickest thing I've fucking ever heard in my life.
I should just
No,
take it and
not
throw
on
it in the
this show.
toilet and eliminate the middleman.
Yeah, that's right.
These extra. Dude, you're eating.
You'll be happier. In the
Yeah. Your ass will thank you in the morning.
morning. Actually, your asshole might be happier. if you
Picturing
ate it.
someo's ass talking to them.
I don't
Thank
think
you.
It's
so.
like a mixture of salt and
No,
butter.
dude, it's just gonna. It's
Yeah.
gonna.
It's really salty and it looks like rotten vegetable in there.
No, dude.
It's like
It
toast.
tastes worse.
It says it tastes
I'm,
I remember when I
I'm
used
bringing
to,
some to drinkers. You guys all have to try it.
Yeah.
Whoever.
All right, so
Semi-edible dark brown paste.
yeah.
Jerry,
Very
if you
tasty
can
and
make
delicious.
me a sandwich of Vegemite that
Yeah.
I would actually fucking eat, and I eat
Not-
the whole goddamn
You're supposed
thing.
to spread it lightly over toast, aren't you?
Yeah, lightly.
Yeah.
over
You
Figure
don't
out
eat
how
a
to make
big
that
That guy.
happen.
you don't eat a
I'll
big
try it
bite
again.
of it.
But
Yeah.
I had
Oh.
one bite of one fucking Wonder Bread it was Marmite sandwich,
Yeah.
and I
Dry heaved.
well, no, so
Vegemite
Is that a
sandwich.
lyric?
it's a
That's
guess
lyric,
thing,
yeah.
right? I was
Yeah.
going-
Yeah, it is a lyric. Yeah, and you brought me a
It is.
Vegemite sandwich.
It is.
I
Yeah,
knew it.
yeah.
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 So I was a guest. I was a guest at a friend's house, and his mom made me a Marmite sandwich. And like when you're a guest at someone's house,
Yeah.
you fucking
gotta-
eat what they serve you. That's the thing,
Exactly.
right? So I took the first bite, and I was like, "Ugh,"
Yeah.
you know, and then it was like I had
Jim,
to,
we need that wow.
I had to
sound
muscle it down, and I felt terrible about the whole
Coming
fucking
right
thing.
up.
Well, Marmite
Wait,
and Vegemite do taste different. So.
What was
If
it?
you- if you
Andrew,
can
did
make me
right?
a
You took a
Vegemite-
bite. You took a bite.
Sorry?
What? There we go.
I'm trying to buy this fucking
I have to
album.
remember which pack.
I'm gonna
Poor
get a beer,
Andrew.
actually.
It's gonna sell out before you guys told all the fucking people in IRC they're gonna buy it.
No.
Well, lucky for
I'm
you,
just
there's
trying
only
to-
4 people paying attention in there.
Fewer
You'll
than
be
that.
battling it with 4 people sniping together.
They're already.
I love that sound effect.
Anyway,
That's
I
so
would
good.
love. I would love to prove myself wrong about Vegemite and all the rest
And
of that.
you see the little rascals, and one kid's eyes are like this big. Looks at him. Whoa.
So I pulled that soundbite from an old Little Rascals episode where
That's a
Spanky.
good one.
Okay, Spanky's really little, and he's sitting across the table, and Nicky or whatever, he's feeding the what was the dog's name with the ring around his head? I forget. Anyway, he's feeding him sausages under the table, and then he's talking to his mom or whatever, and then he's feeding sausages. So Spanky's not allowed to eat sausages, so he crawls underneath the table. So he's pretending to be the dog while he's putting sausages in his mouth. And then the older brother sees it. He's like, oh yeah. So he gets Tabasco, puts it all over it, and puts it in his mouth. And then Spanky goes, oh, and then they put the wow.
Well, they use that sound then more than once because there's another episode.
Yeah,
where
I think they did.
They're in a kitchen and they're like making a cake or something like that.
Oh, that's right, the cake that keeps going up and down. That same sound.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking of. Where he looks at the other kid and his eyes are like this big. Whoa.
Yeah. So I have the Little Rascals uncensored on DVD, and that cake episode has a real racist scene in it, where I was just like, "Oh, now I know why they don't play these anymore." So there's this part where they're baking the cake, and it's like really hot in the room, and they're reading the instructions wrong, like sit on cake until ready, and he's sitting on the stove making the cake, and Stymie's getting hotter and hotter, and he takes the sweat from his brow and goes like that. And then they show a paint splatter on the wall.
Oh.
I was like, oh, that's racist. God, Little Rascals are racist. So they don't air them on TV anymore. So it's like nobody knows what Little Rascals are.
I bought,
right?
I think like two or 3 years ago when they finally did a really good job of remastering the old ones, and like every episode I bought the whole set for my dad as a Christmas gift because he's got that, and I got him the Laurel and Hardy, and he's got the Stooges, and so all those. The only one that I really wish, like I bought him a set of Marx Brothers, but there's yet to be a complete set of Marx.
Oh, of everything, yeah, because they did a lot of movies and stuff. So.
Oh yeah, they did all the features. And,
they might be owned by different people. That's why.
Yeah, but those we all that stuff we watch together religiously. So.
Yeah. See, I like Three Stooges, but I'm a fan of. See, everybody has their favorite, but I'm a Curly fan. So after Curly left, I don't like the Shemp episodes. You know, because
I don't mind Shemp.
I'm not a big fan of Shemp either.
Yeah, Shemp seems like another Mo to me.
He's another Mo, yeah,
and they're brothers too in real life. So it's like the same guy.
Well, Curly is too, but Curly and Mo are brothers too.
Oh, they were?
Yeah. Yeah. Shemp actually started out before Curly, and then Curly, he decided he didn't want to do it full time. So then Curly stepped in. And then when Curly started getting sick, then Shemp would come in for those episodes. But yeah, Shemp, Curly, and Mo were all brothers.
I saw a documentary on them. They're saying that Curly was a real ladies' man, believe it or not. And he was like always with a new hot chick every week.
Curly hair, man. And he also he also had a drinking problem. The funny thing is that, like, if you look at their history and Marx Brothers' history, it was very similar in the sense that, like, Groucho Marx was in charge of the money and setting up all their gigs and doing all the contracts and all that stuff. And then Mo Howard was
the brains.
He was the brains. He was the because Larry was he wasn't like related, but Mo was kind of in charge of their group, and then like Groucho, and so it's kind of
I believe that.
Yeah, I'd always like to know, like I wish there were some, and maybe there are some interviews or something out there now, but I'm always curious about, like, with all those different great comedy groups, who cares, Gleek?
Wait, what were you showing?
Nothing. Nobody cares.
No, what are you showing?
His butt crack.
No, he's already a mouse pad.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! All getting high.
Heck yeah!
I'm just going to say, do they
edibles?
Is that bongs?
Owned, arcade characters.
Let's see. So what's Donkey Kong have over his head? What is that? Is that like Shatter or something?
It's probably Dab.
Oh, Dab. Yeah. Oh man, look
Where
at
did you get that from?
Dig Dug, from a dab shop.
I actually like that.
I need to get one of them for my friend. He'd love it.
That's pretty funny. I like it.
See, Jimbo, people care.
Yeah. well, we're getting muted.
Wow.
So somebody,
Oh, he did it.
yeah.
But I was always interested about like what their dynamic was with everyone else, with like Marx Brothers versus the Stooges and like all the
Oh,
other.
if they hated each
they're all
other or
going on.
not? Yeah.
Or like like or if there's like competition or like a mutual respect or like what what they would have to say about each other.
Yeah, mutual respect. Yeah, does not exist tonight.
I'll tell
We
you
don't
this.
know.
I did see an interview with Dick Van Dyke where he talked about how he got asked to visit Laurel from Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah.
And Laurel said to him, "You've been stealing my act for years." This is on his deathbed. He told Dick Van Dyke this. Yeah.
Mhm.
And he goes, "At least you did it well." But Dick Van Dyke's like, "I admit it. I stole a lot from you, but you're my hero, that kind of thing."
Yeah.
So,
well, there is the whole like imitation is the most sincere form
yeah.
of flattery.
And if you look at Dick Van Dyke from the Dick Van Dyke Show, he did a lot of like physical comedy and stuff, and did act a little bit like Laurel.
Well, and there was that
Hardy.
big.
That does not fly in the comedy community, though. That's
No, but I know that's like, oh yeah.
Well, and then there was the whole there was that skit, was it the I Love Lucy skit where she's imitating Harpo Marx?
Oh yeah.
They were doing that mirror sequence, and they're both in on it. But yeah,
that was cute. Yeah.
That comedy though is, I mean, other than like the political, like the jokes, the political jokes, and obviously the racist stuff, but for the most part, a lot of that stuff's really timeless.
Oh, the old classic I Love Lucy episodes, I'll still watch them once in a while. My wife and I still crack up, where Lucy's drinking the thing and Vita Vegemite, she's getting drunk every time she drinks it, and it's still funny.
We watch every year when go to my grandpa's cabin for fishing or hunting or whatever. We watch. Me and my dad usually bring Stooges and a lot of times Laurel and Hardy. Last year we brought Rascals, but we always are watching that stuff there. It's kind of a tradition.
Okay, so I can ask you this: I was going to suggest this to people if they haven't seen it yet. For Laurel and Hardy, my favorite short they ever did. It was done in like I think it was L.A. I think it's called the Piano Movers. Have you ever seen that one? That's my favorite one.
That's
a classic.
They move that big heavy piano up all those stairs. They get and they have all this trouble.
That's a real stairs that were there for a long time in LA.
They get it all the way up there after having a shit ton of trouble and losing it and stuff. They finally get this big ass heavy piano all the way up there, and the owner's like, "Oh, why don't you just use the driveway around the back?" And they're like, "Oh, geez," they feel all stupid. And then the big kicker is, so then they move the piano all the way down and then you bring it back up again using that. It's so funny. There's a Stooge episode that's kind of a take on that. I don't know which one came out earlier, where they're delivering ice cubes, like big heavy ice blocks.
I've seen that one.
Curly grabs it and he has to go all the way up these steps. It looks identical. He brings it all the way to the top of this house, and it's the size of an ice cube. The lady's like, "What am I supposed to do with that?" And he's like, "Here's a free sample." And she's like, "Am I supposed to put that in my drinking glass?" It's just a fucking ice cube.
Oh, they're so funny. How about the Three Stooges where they get the build a house kit, and it's like you get all the pieces to make a house, right? And you just got to follow the directions, but of course they don't. So the house is just a fucking wreck by the end of it. They're doing it for their 3 wives, right? They're all gonna live together, right? So the house is so put together so like haphazardly. Like when you go inside, there's like stairs just sticking out of the wall right in the middle, and the wives go, "What is that? Those are shelves."
There's my god.
I don't know if that was the same episode, but they have one where you hit the light switch and it like flush the toilet or something.
Oh,
it's like there's plumbing is all backwards.
When they're is that the plumbing we will go or something like that. There's one where they have every occupation, it seems but there's one where they're plumbers and they get all the wiring wrong in the house.
Wiring for plumbing?
Well, they're pulling out all the shit to run pipes through.
Oh
through
yeah,
the
they
house.
think there's
Like, they don't know
wire
what
in the way, so they're pulling the wire
There's not a lot of plumbing.
So they're pulling the
or
wire
wiring
out. They
involved
put
in
a pipe in, and it gets to a point where the housekeeper, he's in a few episodes. This black guy, he's in this getup, and he's like the chef, and he's just kind of like not the butler, but he's kind of like the maid almost. And he flips on a light switch. And you see, the light bulb fills up with water, and there's water spraying out of the stove burners.
Yeah.
He's like falling down in the kitchen because it's all wet. Yeah, it's so fucking funny.
I love those, man.
I had growing up at a garage sale, we bought Three Stooges VHS board game where you'd play a tape.
Oh
and
yeah,
it was
I remember
a board
that
game.
I
And
totally remember that from like a TV. It was board
it
game
was
playing on
basically a
TV.
clip show, and they had
Oh, the
text
best
on
clip.
there, like words, and they would line up. You'd have a bunch of like playing cards, and it'd be like boink or whatever, and you would it was a board game, and you would with playing cards that had all these symbols and stuff on there based on what would flash on the screen. But it was basically a clip show. I mean, it'd be fun. You could just watch the tape if you really wanted to. But it was, and every so often there would be a clip. It was like of them driving into a like a garbage dump, and that's when you would have to discard stuff, and so that would play periodically. But those VHS games were interesting because, granted, the tape it's linear, it's always the same, but the instructions, if I remember right, would always say never rewind the tape all the way, play from where it is, and then when it gets to the end, rewind it, because then the outcome would always be different. I'm sure you could figure out, I guess, who's gonna win based on where it is in the tape. But it was actually, I thought it was pretty clever that
it's like Dragon's Lair. You can't lose.
Yeah.
Well, the thing though is the cards are the random factor, so it depends on the cards you have and how you play them with what happens on the screen. So
yeah,
that's what kind of, because I had the Clue, the version Clue.
I fucking love Clue.
Yeah, so that one was actually pretty entertaining, and that was very similar too. It's like you're supposed to look for stuff that you have in your card deck, that matches, like. Whoever's wearing this colored thing, or if whoever touches this candlestick, or it all had to do with the card deck you had. So
now, was that based? Was that based on the Clue movie? The
No,
Tim Curry?
No, it was like the VHS. Like
right. But did the what was on the VHS tape though? Was it clips from the movie?
No, it was a whole made just for the board game production, and it was actually pretty well done, and it actually had comedy in it, and
nice.
It had nobody actors, but they were all very capable of acting and everything. So it was actually pretty decent
it was just
for one of those.
Yeah.
So you played it? You played it, Andrew?
No. I had friends who had it.
Okay, so you've seen it though.
I've seen it. I never actually played it, but it was the same idea as the Stooges thing, except
very similar. Yeah,
same concept. The VHS, like the game things, was like a big deal for a while.
Yeah,
and that's actually a good segue. Did I mention this on the show one of the other weeks about the movie Beyond the Gates on Netflix that's based on that revolves around a VHS board game that's like haunted.
Oh no!
Yeah,
it's so
that just
cheesy
came out
good.
like a few years ago, right? Like maybe
it's on
years ago.
Netflix. I think Carrie's watched it. It's one of my new favorite cheesy great horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. Yeah, it revolves around these two boys. Their fathers went missing, and he owned a VHS rental store that's been closed for a while now. So they're there to clear out the store, and so they're packing up all these VHS tape stuff at this video rental store, and they discover a VHS board game in their dad's office in this rental store, and so they put it in, and it turned they start kind of playing it just for fun or whatever, and it turns out to be this kind of haunted game where like whatever they do, it actually manifests in real life. It's really cheesy, funny, good. Like it's really well done as far as like, it's like Army of Darkness, that sort of level of cheese.
Nice. What's it called?
Like I'm just pointing it like that's like the class of like quality.
Yeah,
I would say.
I love perfect movies. I love those movies.
Yeah, it's a great cheese ball. Yeah, it's great. I liked it.
I'll have a look.
Yeah. YouTube Punk says I mentioned some. Okay, I thought I mentioned it before, but the booze and the booze.
Right. Yeah.
The booze.
But no, this is a fun conversation.
That'd be funny if his name was YouTube Fuck. We used to call John's followers that.
Oh, speaking of that,
that was where he got his name. I thought that was YouTube Punk was.
That one thread on Clav that's
Maybe.
Are we seeing the end of John's Arcade or whatever? And I put the first tag on there and I put John's, or I put YouTube fucks will be sad.
I think John's the one that came up with that word.
Yeah.
Even.
No, it was Sean.
Sean, that's right.
Yeah.
Sean.
Yeah.
John and his stupid YouTube fucks. Yeah.
So I posted.
That's like
Sean.
Sorry, just real quick. And doesn't Sean also that came up with the beer fags?
Beer fags. Yeah.
It was beer fags for Joe and YouTube fucks for John.
So no spoilers or anything. I posted in Facebook. I posted I'm gonna go see Endgame again. Here I go, or something like that, right? And then Sean wrote in there, that movie sucked.
It did. There were two people on there I saw that said that they didn't like it. Mark, I thought you would appreciate this because
they're my friends too.
I put in brackets insert Star Wars Last
Jedi.
Jedi.
Now you know how it feels, fucker.
Because that's how I felt. I'm like, wow,
there's
always like I like listening to Kevin Smith's reviews of stuff.
I watch that.
Because he always brings me back to, he always brings up a great point. It's like, when did people become such harsh critics? Like no one ever anymore like goes to a movie and just says, I enjoyed it, that was good. Now it's always like, well, it was pretty good, but when I analyze it, I don't. There's this wrong with it. There's this wrong with it, and everyone now is such a hypercritic, and because like
social media made us this way.
Yeah,
I did finally see it on Sunday. No spoilers, but I knew I knew at some point eventually I would get the physique like Thor,
That's a spoiler. Hey, did you like it though? Did you like it?
Yeah, it was long.
Okay, so Gak and I liked it. Okay, it's a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
I saw it twice. I saw it twice the opening day. So yeah.
Wow.
I did the same thing. I did the same thing with Infinity War. I saw the fan one, like the first showing where you got like a coin and all that stuff, and then I saw the 9 p.m. show that same night.
Did you see it's already made $2 billion? It's made already. $2 billion.
It's gonna pass
2.2
Avatar.
Actually,
it's gonna pass Avatar. Yeah.
2.2 billion.
The crazy one, I read an article about, they were talking about Robert Downey Jr. Like he's made ridiculous money off of those movies.
50 million each movie.
He's so good.
He's made almost 300 million total. And it was like, it all started out with the first Iron Man 10 years ago. He was
he got like 100,000 for that.
He was kind of like he was kind of like almost blacklisted.
He was blacklisted.
He worked. If you hear, he did some. Well, he's done a gazillion interviews, but in one of his interviews, he talked about how he worked his ass off to get that part. Like he really wanted that part.
What they negotiated was he got $500,000 for the first movie, but he got royalties if the movie profited and any other franchise moving forward that he was in. Like he gets like a percentage, and that's why he's just killing it. He's just killing it.
I bet
supposedly he made over 75 million on the latest movie already.
So Jon Favreau, who was actually in the movie, he's the bodyguard. Okay, so he made Iron Man 1, right? Well, he's the one that had him in mind the whole time. Like, we got to get him. We got to get
He's
him.
perfect. He's the perfect guy
And he
for it,
knows them
really.
and stuff too. And so the studio didn't want to back him because he was a liability, because he was still blacklisted.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know. He's got a history with drinking. I don't know. That sometimes he comes on the set drunk.
But the
Yeah.
funny thing
He's
is,
all,
that
no,
the
he's changed now. He's
What's
changed.
wrong with
He's
that?
changed.
Yeah.
well, and the
So
funny thing
he's
is
been-
that the actual Iron Man character in the comics has a
Yeah.
drinking problem.
Oh, totally. And that's why he can relate to it. So
He's got that perfect
He-
blend of like cocky
He's-
arrogance, but he's also really smart and witty, you know.
yeah, witty.
So,
That's the
it's
big-
really good.
So Favreau, I mean, Downey Jr. has been like clean for like 10 years before that movie or something. I mean, he like climbs mountains, for crying out loud. And his wife's the one that keeps him on the straight and narrow. So
And I thought I read some story about him. Like when he was like at rock bottom, drugs, and he was considering suicide, and he like stopped at a Burger King, and he like was at the edge of a cliff, and he was contemplating jumping off the cliff. And
oh, fuck.
He sat down and ate the Burger King burger, and he was like, "This is so delicious," and he like started to rethink his life. And like
wow.
that, there's a
Fucking
scene with
second.
him like that. What's that?
Oh, and
There's no
where
way
he's
you
like,
eat
I
a
want
Whopper and the
cheeseburger.
Whopper saved
Yeah.
your life. There's no
That's
fucking
it. I've never
story.
had a good Burger King burger.
And now,
It should
now
have
he
been an
can-
In-N-Out burger.
and now Burger King is his number one
Oh,
sponsor.
I like In-N-Out. I do like
Yeah,
In-N-Out.
I'm going to Burger King tonight because I feel
You know,
fucking
in
little
Iron
suicidal.
Man, like
sucks.
after they save him in the desert, the first
Yeah, I
Iron
want an
Man,
American
he sits
cheeseburger.
down in front of everybody and he's having a Whopper, basically. Yeah,
That's true.
and I
so-
think it ties into that story.
Oh, that's
somehow,
pretty
yeah.
amazing. I didn't
Yeah.
think about that. You're right.
That's deep, Gak.
It does tie into Endgame too. No spoilers, but that does tie into Endgame a
Yeah.
bit, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
I gotta get beer. Be right back.
I need to get a Whopper because apparently
I think it's
I'll give you.
bullshit that
I'll
they
give you a
don't.
Whopper.
I think it's bullshit. You have to
My life.
upgrade with cheese on a Whopper. It should just
I gotta
by
get
default
to
come with
go to
cheese.
work. So just want to say bye with see ya. Thanks.
Oh,
Oh, you
all
still
right.
here?
All right.
Night, Gleek.
I'll be
Yeah.
over.
See you, Gleek.
Gleek, are you going to Grinkers?
Yes.
Awesome.
No, he just buys the shirts.
Okay. I know. I'm just wondering if he'll be there this year.
Later, guys.
So-
All right, Kat, for you. I
He's
got
What do you
hooked.
got?
He just we got him out there once. He'll never.
You gotta
not
talk. I
show up.
can't see it.
California Creamin'.
Oh, that's what's the brewery again?
Oh, those are
Mother
good.
Earth Brew Company. This actually tastes
I
like almost
fucking
soda beer.
Yeah,
I
it
love
really does.
cream
They are
ales.
delicious.
Cream ale, yeah, yep.
any cream ale. Oh man,
Are they all
actually the Castle Dangers that we've got here are fucking amazing.
It's almost like a sweet beer.
I miss
Mhm.
beer in that regard. Cream ale.
Well,
is
that's
so
why
good.
I do vodka, but I do one beer to treat myself.
Oh, look at you.
I do one beer to calories.
I'm doing that
yeah,
barrel
one
gin.
beer to calories, rest is all vodka
Yeah.
and cranberry.
That barrel gin is so good. I got to fill up my glass again.
Speaking of which, Gak, is your
They're cheap though.
is
I want
your
to hear
thing
more about
still full?
Jim's drink at some point too. Those
My
two-
kegs?
two booze.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm gonna.
have,
I
like-
need to get another one.
So
Barrel
I don't-
gin.
So let Gak finish his story, but I want to hear more about your gin and your whiskey. You're about.
Oh yeah, we got to hear about the gin and juice. Sorry.
But Gak, please finish that story.
No, I don't have any way of being able to measure it other than maybe if I put it on a scale when I first
Your
start.
penis?
Oh.
He doesn't have a yardstick around. Yeah.
I measure it by water displacement.
He's got to dip it into a fucking barrel to figure out.
What's the final gravity of that?
How
beer
many
jokes.
gallons can I displace with my cock?
Oh,
Oh boy.
we're going to hell.
Yeah, but that's where all the good music is.
That's true.
Exactly. I'm just picturing that scene from the from Dirt.
Okay, so
I finally watched Dirt, and I have to say, as a zero quantity Motley Crue fan,
oh,
that-
the dirt.
that
Okay.
movie was fucking awesome.
Oh, you did like it. Okay.
There
I thought it
you
was
go.
fun.
I love
It's
that
a
movie.
fun, it's a fun movie, right?
Yeah.
It's totally fun. I don't like the music even a little bit. I'm not a
Yeah, I grew
Motley
up with
fan,
that. That was
Yeah,
my
I
high
like
school right there. So.
But you know what? That fucking movie was a lot of fun.
did you like the what was it, Ozzy Osbourne scene?
Yeah, that was snorting the ants.
No, that's all true story though. That all happened. I remember
it all came
him
from the
talking
book,
about
right?
it.
Yeah.
No, well, it came from his all of them wrote a book, and the movies all commonly. But no, he talked about that on Howard Stern. That happening. It was when they were doing their tour together, and it was actually happening in an airport when they were getting off the plane, and they ran out of Coke on the plane, and like Ozzy's like, I need a hit, and then they were the whole tour. They're trying to outgross out each other too, like as a contest. He goes, watch this, mate, watch this. It's all sniffs. He snorted it right off the ground with the straw, and they're like, "Oh fuck!" The piss part was like added because that didn't happen.
Right.
No, in the book that's in there, as well as after Ozzy goes to his room and then spreads shit everywhere, all over the walls and stuff.
Like a goddamn monkey. Jesus.
Yeah, the movie was good. The book's a hell of a lot better. And then there's
I bet.
There's a second part to the book as well. There's 2 books that carried on the story.
From which guy wrote it? Is that
both, or like the whole of Motley Crue? They wrote and then there was more stories, and it's called what's it called? Burritos, Whiskey, and something. And it's what they used to rub all over their crutches to hide the smell of other women from their girlfriends.
The burrito, hide the smell.
Yeah. That's it. But the movie was good. The actors were just too pretty, I think. Like,
they didn't look the part at all.
No, they were pretty boys. Yes, scrawny, probably scrawny, but not.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance to read Nikki Sixx's book, The Heroin Diaries, that's fucking amazing.
My god,
it's crazy good.
So do they? Okay, so you weren't here when we talked about this before. So there is Tommy Lee talked about this on Howard. So maybe it's you know it better from the book. So he talked about where him and Nikki would do that contest where they wouldn't bathe for days to see how many girls they could still fuck every day until a girl would say no, right? So I don't know. I think it was Nikki. I'm not sure who it happened to, but the girl went down on him, and she just leans over and goes, and starts throwing up.
Yeah.
They make a noise like this
because it was like a month they didn't bathe. I think
in the book she throws up and then she keeps going. Because she actually
a month of like fucking 3 chicks a night and not bathing.
Yeah.
She comes back a couple of months later to his house. And he doesn't remember who the fuck she is.
God, you'd feel so gross. Like, how could he even do it?
And they go on tour all sweaty and stuff too.
Like, who cares? Who cares about the girl as your like as a dude? Like, how can you fucking just live with yourself? Like, it feels so fucking gross.
But they're wasted. Remember how in the movie they would like Gak was talking about how he would just wake up. It was like that horrible like. Loop of like wake up, party.
They don't focus on when they get on the plane. At the one point, they take this. Nikki and Tommy have this thing that they made themselves called zombie dust that they mentioned slightly in the movie, and it's a mixture between like Xanax, Coke, heroin, and all this stuff that they combine together. And
Jesus.
That just got them really fucked the whole time. That's what it is. That was it.
How do they live through that?
Yeah. How do we have any rockers from that era?
Yeah, and the overdose that Nikki Sixx had in the movie, it's nothing like what happened in real life.
That was on the street. I think that happened. He wasn't in an ambulance. Yeah,
it was the lead singer from Hanoi Rocks, and the dealer ended up like beating him with a baseball bat trying to get his heart started again.
Oh shit!
He died, so they threw him in a dumpster. They didn't even call an ambulance.
And
it had been reported that he was dead. So he's like, oh yeah. So he wakes up, he comes back to life. I don't know how the fuck it happened. Got out. He's walking down Hollywood Boulevard, and all these chicks pull over like, "You're dead." He's like, "The fuck you on about? Take me home." And they drove him home, and he went and shot up again. And then the second time he OD'd was sort of like what they put in the movies. So.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Are we supposed to talk about arcade related shit? I forgot.
No.
We talked about Vectrex for a minute.
This is a pop culture hangout.
So I found a karaoke bar.
Jim Bodini puts. I love that we haven't talked about anything arcade related the whole time.
Did you find the $5 adjustment, Jim?
Most of us have arcade games behind us.
Well, that's true.
I do. They're in that room. I got a Monster Bash remake.
I sold more of mine.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't have room. So yeah.
Well,
that's it.
just think you'll have that much more fun, chasing down new games later at some point.
Well, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm down to one main machine now, so I feel really happy.
So you don't have any games, is what you're saying? No,
I've got 5 left. That's out of what I had. So yeah, man,
You
that's
want to
just
start
like
out with a clean slate. Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah, I just kept
It's
one
an
main
expensive
machine
time to do that.
You're basically jerking off instead of fucking, right, Jim?
Yeah.
Oh god, those comments
That
on
was
my
funny,
fucking.
yeah.
I wanted to respond. Are you fucking kidding me?
Do you play MAME or
I
do
should
you
pull
play
that
your
up so I
arcade
can.
games?
I can. Should I talk about that? That was hilarious.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me find it. Because I posted it on our Slack.
yeah.
That's quicker than me logging into my fucking
Sorry.
YouTube channel. Oh, hey Keith.
How about a little backstory while you look for it?
I posted a long time ago. An eyes video. Actually, I've posted several eyes videos on my YouTube channel. And this one was, at the time, it was my best score I had. There we go. And it was 7.6 million, I think. And so I posted a short video. It was my whole game, but I sped it all up because this was before I released my patterns and all that stuff. So I didn't want to reveal that, but I just kind of time lapsed it. I compressed it into like 1 minute or 2 minutes or whatever. And so you just see the score rolling and clearing all these stages. And so I get a comment, and I don't like hardly anyone's commented on that video. This is a while ago, and it's just a video of a score, and we're all sped up. So I get this comment from Furious Wolf 666. I don't know who that is, but he just responds. Yeah. He just responds. I have the world record on Twin Galaxies of 8.7 million. I'm like, there's so many things wrong with this. Just that one comment, because like first off, that's not even close to the world record of on Twin Galaxies, which is 23 million on Twin Galaxies. I have the world record, not to toot my own horn, but I have the world record on.
Well, you can brag about that. I mean, not everybody can fucking say that.
Yeah. Well, I have the world record of 26 million, and so I just responded. I put, well, the world record on Twin Galaxies is 23 million. However, I hold the world record on Arcade with 26. And then he responds to me and goes, "Oh, I mean on Twin Galaxies MAME." And then
brother.
And then I'm like, gotcha. And
you mean MAME that has save states and shit and pause?
Well, yeah. Well, I don't even know like how the MAME on Twin Galaxies works.
Brother, you can't even like listening to that after that.
No, I'm kind of chuckling. I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. Yeah. So then he responds, I thought that'd be the end of it. I'm like, oh, gotcha. Okay. I thought that'd be the end of it. So then he responds,
you're all like, cool, bro.
Yeah.
Cool, bro.
Cool, bro. Have fun with that. Yeah. Looks great. Have fun with that.
Good score, bro.
Yeah. So then he responds, do you play MAME or do you prefer to play on a real arcade PCB? And at this point, I'm like,
talk to Mock.
Is he not even watching?
No, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
he's not even watching your video at all, really.
No. He doesn't. Right? And I'm like, what a stupid thing to ask. Because in my head, it's basically, do you prefer fake or real? Emulation or real? Like, it's like, isn't this kind of a no-brainer?
Well,
I don't know.
No, it is to someone that doesn't know the restore or the clav community. Like when I was very first new to it, I didn't have any clue that it was like, blasphemous to ask a question like that. But
no, but I'm just on the surface. Okay, say like,
but he doesn't look at it as fake. He's just going, oh, it's emulation. He doesn't look at it as fake though.
Right. Well, yeah, but I'm just saying on the surface. You okay? Let's say, all right, Steve, you have the choice of playing, of having a MAME cabinet with MAME cabinet with Robotron, or you could play it on a legit dedicated Robotron arcade cabinet on the real hardware. What's your choice?
Well, of course, I want the real thing. So
it's a no-brainer. So that's what's going through my head. I'm like, that's a stupid question.
Yeah, especially if it's horribly emulated. If you're playing the 60-in-1 or something like that, and the sounds are all off and shit, and
even if you don't have this knowledge, you can have the legit thing, or you can have emulation. Like, to me, it's a no-brainer. Like, even if I wasn't in this hobby, it's a no-brainer.
Well, let's apply it to something else. Let's all right. Would you rather have?
You know what? Fake boobs, real boobs, they're all real on the inside.
Turns out, turns out they're both pretty awesome to play with.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking
they both taste the same.
Nice.
I don't even follow this conversation, but I was going to continue the serious part of the conversation before boobs came
serious.
in. And fuck that, because boobs are better.
Right, and I use
boobs are better. My girlfriend has a 301 breast.
Like, right?
But like something more accessible, right? It would be like
they're pretty accessible.
Something you want to tell me?
Well, I mean, most of these guys have access to a set, not necessarily mine, but
3 buttons to heaven.
All of a sudden, our viewers go up astronomically over like this one topic. Suddenly there's 100 people in the RSC.
All right, Jim, show us your tits.
What's better, boobs or arcade games? Let's just say right now.
Well, no.
That's a smooth segue.
Just watch joysticks in your set. So.
Well, no, sorry, just a real quick.
All right, yes.
To reality. All right, so I get the boob jokes; they're awesome. But no, but something more accessible. So like console games, right? So like, many people could buy like console games, like NES games or that sort of thing. It's like, would you rather play on your PC, or would you actually rather play on a real console? And would your world record mean more to you then? Arcade games, most people can't do what a lot of us here on the show do, right? But console games are much more accessible. So in that realm,
and that was my first first introduction to emulation when I was in college. Was a Nintendo was boobs, the boobs emulator on my PC. No, but I had a Nintendo emulator, and I'm like, this is really neat, but I'm playing this on a fucking keyboard, and you could get a joypad or something for your computer, but it's not the same.
But it's fake.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. But consoles, it's like a lot of us whatever the console is, like whatever you grew up with, right? So there's emulators for most consoles, so you can play those. But would you rather play it on the original console or emulation? And it's like there's no question, you play it on the original one.
Yeah.
And that's what means something. It doesn't mean anything if you don't play it on emulation.
Right. Now there's a difference between asking would you rather do you prefer to play on an emulator or on the real hardware versus do you have access to one or the other? That's a different question. This guy's just asking, do you prefer to play on MAME or the real hardware? It's a stupid question.
No, it's not. It's an honest question. He's just honestly asking you.
If you had the choice, of course, I think most people
that's the question.
Maybe he didn't finish the question. Like he meant to say, do you prefer to play it for a world record? Like he didn't finish his sentence. Maybe that could apply.
Maybe.
Because then you can go to the
bathroom. There's a lot of people who learned how to play Donkey Kong, for example. They learned to play Donkey Kong in emulation, and then they translated that to the arcade cabinet.
Yeah.
It works for Billy Mitchell.
Yeah, well, and
that's a.
But Donkey Kong, there is that where there's a ton of MAME guys with Donkey Kong who learned Donkey Kong in emulation and they translated it to the actual cabinet.
Well, and
Andrew, is this how you felt the other week when you were pushing the pinball machine thing? Because everyone's like defending this fucktard, and it just blows my mind. It's a simple. To me, it's a simple thing.
Do you feel like no one fucking listening to you, and you just keep repeating yourself?
No, I just feel like everyone's defending this dumbass.
No, fuck him. I'm just saying that. Of course, the answer is you're right. 100%, you're right.
Yeah, it's just a no-brainer.
Yeah, real deal.
Yeah, but
and so like in Slack, my response is. This is the equivalent of someone asking, do you prefer porn or real sex?
And we all laughed our asses off about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can have You can have pretty hot VR porn models.
It's a little bit of a toss-up when it comes to VR.
And they had never say, "I'm tired. I got a headache. Don't touch me."
Yeah. And if they do that, you just go, "Fuck you." Go on to the next video, and it's.
Well, then you probably
you wouldn't be having it. Wouldn't be real sex then, would it? It wouldn't be a choice.
Yeah, I need a VR video that says,
"Yeah,
I'm tired. I got a headache."
Putting the real in the VR.
Yeah.
This is the VRR.
That's no longer
VR
virtual.
squared.
That's just reality.
Yeah. Virtual marriage.
XR.
You do this extra like housework and cook dinner and
you
do
put on
laundry
like
in order for the VR to work.
It's like you put this on, it's like this. Take out the garbage.
Yeah.
Do the dishes.
Well,
How
and
many
then you
drinks
spend the
is
first
that?
45 minutes taking out the garbage and the dishes before you get turned down for a blowjob.
Yeah.
You want me to put that where? That's what someone has to come up with, the marriage VR headset.
The most boring game ever.
Yeah, it's a winning thing.
They have like 3 members.
Yeah, you get one hand job for every dishes, vacuuming, and
You have to earn every hand job.
Yeah. if you want a blow job, you have to paint the house. It's the Karate Kid.
Yeah, that Mr. Miyagi-Do, the whole fucking house.
Yeah, exactly. You the pitcher, I the catcher. Oh, that's so
Catch some more
Mom,
flies in the fucking
do you prefer to play Robotron on MAME or on a real cabinet?
Okay, so here's the deal. I have 2 joysticks per player 1 and
It's a
player
simple
2.
question.
I can play Robotron. It's almost arcade perfect through MAME. But I want a Robotron cabinet. I just do. I want a real one because I think aesthetically it's cool looking. It's one of my favorite arcade games, and I want to play it on real hardware, and I think it'd be really cool to have. So
back to so your answer to my question is you would prefer to play it on a
preferred, yes. But if you can't access it any other way,
no, you answered it because that was this guy's question. Do you prefer to play Eyes on MAME or real arcade hardware?
Yeah.
It was
supposedly, I guess there is that bit of lag issue too with digital.
Yeah.
So there is that issue as well that I don't notice it because I'm not an expert in Robotron, but a Robotron expert would notice it.
I can tell you right now that playing Eyes on MAME, there's input lag.
Yeah. So
and I notice it.
Yeah. So exactly. Is there input lag in the 16-1?
Very much so.
Is there? I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of games have it. Yeah.
I know they're different though. They're different.
Fighting games are the most noticeable in my book.
Ladybug has some input lag, so does Mr. Do.
Is Robotron on the 16-1?
No,
Robotron's not on.
No.
Well, there you go.
But
fighting games are really suffer from input.
So remember when we used to do the score thing? We'd put a game of the week, and everybody would try to get scores, and that was fun. Well,
yeah, I remember
when we had.
We were trying to support somebody at that point who.
Yeah,
Gleek's gone.
I don't know why that didn't work out, but it did.
Yeah,
I'm sure Gleek would have a few words to say.
Maybe you could buy like a vinyl side art Robotron. I don't know. Maybe. Just saying.
All right. So where's the 5-volt adjustment pot on this POS? No.
Exactly.
Was that a Nintendo?
Crafty's supposed to join
this is my red tent power supply.
It's a red tent power supply. Yeah, I saw
well, actually, it's technically. I think this only came in R types, but it's a lot. Like 5 of the Nintendo power supplies are interchangeable.
But it has the same like 9 and 12 pin connectors on it, right?
It's the 9 and the 3. This is the 1200 M. I think a lot of the ones were in the red tents were like the 1100A and the 1200A and 1300A. The difference is that from my knowledge is that in some of the ones they have another thing on top that has another 12-volt 4-pin Molex, but this is the one that's in
Oh, for
Mine.
the coin counter.
No, coin counter is the 24 volt.
Sorry, I was just throwing shit out there.
I know it doesn't matter at this point. At this point,
I
Anthony,
wouldn't
does it
believe
really
it.
matter?
I know. Why don't you just go? Yeah, sure.
I'm
Sounds good, dude.
looking. I can only find one little tiny little pot in here, and so I don't know if that controls. I think that's the only pot I can find in here. So hopefully that adjusts the 5 volts. I actually pulled a monitor out of my red tent. So I got my other inverter board. What's that? Oh, the big dog down there. That's a 25-inch. Yeah, it's down there. You can't see it, but I pulled one of the monitors out so I could access the power supply. Because I figured while I'm wiring this whole thing up, plus that would make it easier for me to wire up the sound. I'll probably finish that this weekend. But I pulled the power supply out because there's been, while I'm doing all this, there's been something. It's very subtle. I'm sure Carrie's never noticed it, just me. But
probably
on both monitors, you can only see this in real, like, large solid colored areas on the board. I get there's these really faint vertical lines. They're a trained eye would has to see them, and now I can't unsee them. And it's been this way for a long time. It just hasn't really bothered me. But then now, going through all this work with wiring these up, I've noticed this, and I've done a shit ton of tests. I realized that it's not the board. I've got 2 different versus boards. It doesn't matter which board, which game. It's not monitor. It's not a grounding issue. It's not the monitor, because if I plug in the TPG, it's not there. The issue's not there. So I know that it's a signal coming from the board. And actually, if I run the inverter board into my capture device or into my TV or whatever, I can actually see it there. So I know it's a signal. It's coming through the board. It's a signal. So the only thing I can possibly think of after narrowing all that shit down is it's got to be something power related. And so I checked voltages today, and they're reading high. So at the board, I'm getting 5.2 something volts. So I think my 5 volt line is high. And when I bought this power supply, the dude had I had to look through my old messages, but it had been he had recapped it. So I'm wondering if when this thing was old, the 5 volt pot was turned up to compensate for it. And I'm guessing that when it was recapped, then it read high. And then it was outputting more than 5 volts. So I think I have to dial that back. Because originally in there, I didn't have an original power supply. God damn it. I'm reading the fucking IRC.
Sorry.
You slut. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's fucking an hour and a half into this, and I'm trying to talk about arcade shit. It doesn't matter. So
I want to hear more about the whiskey and gin you bought.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So ultimately, to sum up, in theory, I think if I dial back the 5 volts or I try a different power supply, that will clear the issue up, because to me that makes the most sense. But it's minor. I can probably live with it if none of this shit works, because I've got the other inverter board. Anyways, so done.
And you know that, like, I wouldn't notice it on the red tent because I never play the red tent unless Gradius is in.
And it is. I've been.
Is it now? Yeah, because for like the party.
But you don't notice it in that game because it's so black. Like
okay, yeah, that's
you only notice it in
like all that Mario
bright
shit.
games.
I'm not.
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers.
Okay.
You'll notice it in the blue. Same with Castlevania on like the stage 3. You might notice it. It's so subtle. Like no one's. It's just me. It's my fucking OCD. So I'm like, well, while I have this thing, I'm working on this. I might as well try to tackle this too. That's been my thing with all of my games. That's why this whole fucking thing's taken. Well, part of the reason why it's taken so damn long. But the red tent's the last one. So, anyways, it wasn't as much of a hassle to remove the monitor, so I was happy about that. I thought I couldn't remember. It's been so long. It's been like 5 years since I restored this. So it's like I had to remember how things come apart and how you remove stuff. So it was nice to find out that, oh, that's right, this isn't that bad. Because I thought for a second I had to take the whole fucking top off. That sort of shit. But to answer your question, Andrew, so the bourbon I bought and the gin, they're both J. Carver, which is a Minnesota distillery.
Oh, that's why I haven't heard of them. I was trying to place those names. I'd never heard of them before.
Hey, Jim, can I see your glass?
Yeah. Got asteroids?
Yeah, I like that. Where'd you get that? On eBay or something?
My ex-wife bought the set for me. That there's four. There's like
I'm
4 or
smashing
5.
them the next time I'm there.
It's
Actually, I drink out of them all the time.
Gary Smash.
She-Hulk. Yeah.
She-Hulk. Hulk out
This
on
came
it.
from Jim.
So yeah. Asteroid, Centipede, Tempest, and Missile Command. I think it's a 4 glass set.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're I enjoy.
I got the same set, but I smashed Centipede the other day.
Oh no!
And
Are they dishwasher
the funny
safe?
thing is, Centipede's the only game I have. Oh, Centipede's the only one of those glasses that I have. Carrie, you've got Tempest. You have you had Missile Command.
Yeah, I got the. It doesn't show so well because I have water in this one, but yes. I never have to worry about my decals coming off.
Yeah, see the etching.
Not from the inside.
These have went through the dishwasher a gazillion times. The washing machine. These have went through the laundry a gazillion times.
I love that lead paint.
So
only gives you a little bit of cancer.
So both that bourbon and the gin are from J. Carver, which is a local distillery. And me and Carrie have been out there twice to do tastings. We did the general tour a while back, and the reason why we went there actually is that every time that we buy bourbon, we're always looking for a new one to try. And a lot of times we gravitate towards a local distillery just to, support that and try that. And we came across this J. Carver and we're like, God damn, this is really good fucking bourbon. It was like $30 for a $750 bottle. And it's got this really good, it's almost like I get kind of a caramel-ish flavor to it. It's so different. So my 2 favorite bourbons, I don't know, Carrie's her taste might differ, but is the J. Carver and the Maker's 46. And they're totally different. The Maker's 46 has a real spicy bite to it. The J. Carver is more smooth and mild, but it's got that caramelish. They're both great in cocktails.
All right, would you describe it as kind of the kind of drink that would grab you from the sidewalk and throw your face into a porch?
Fuck you.
Oh, that was your description.
Yeah.
No, I'm just wondering, would you describe it
as
throw you
with
into
historic
a porch?
with
it's like a sidewalk which would
like a historic broken sidewalk that just screams
would just grab you by the ankle and shove your face into a porch.
Yeah, into a raised planter. More like into a raised
when I'm
planter.
shopping for a bourbon, that's what I'm looking for.
It's a little more gentle than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will not bruise your face indefinitely.
Yeah. And cause nerve damage that you still feel. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I still have nerve damage.
Me and Andrew both saw that in about slow motion, and there's nothing we could do about it.
Yeah, that sucked.
Sorry, that was supposed to be funny.
That
was just meant to be like a quick, throw off joke. That was not meant to be a Jesus all on this and tell stories about nerve damage.
Yeah.
On a lighter note, J. Carver's bourbon is really, really fucking good. It makes a great Manhattan. And it's cheaper than it's about the same price actually per bottle as Maker's 46.
Yeah.
So they're very close. It just depends on the mood. But I almost always lately I've been buying a lot of their bourbon. Anyway, so not last weekend, two weekends ago, we went back to their distillery, and when they had a gin tasting event. And now a quick little backstory, I've never been a gin person. In fact, it wasn't until we went to a different tasting at a different distillery in Minnesota called Tattersall that I discovered that I really liked their gin, because it's very citrusy. It's got a lot of like pop to it, and not real heavy on the
juniper.
Thank you. The juniper berries. So it's great. Like it's like if I'm not in the mood for vodka, I could just, it's so good. So, and that's about the same price. It's about $30 a bottle. So I was really excited about that, because I've never liked the taste of gin otherwise. And so we went to this gin tasting event, and we tried all these different gins. And Jay Carver has this gin that's called their barrel gin. It's a barrel aged gin.
It was a brown,
and
up in the bottle.
Yeah.
And it only is distilled once. They have this real fancy. They went through this whole thing where it only goes through the what's up? Oh, saw Mock. What are you doing, Mock? Is that VR?
You want us to see?
Oh,
Slimy.
Slack check-in. You got to check Slack.
Yeah. So
Slack chicken.
So they make this barrel gin is amazing.
Yeah.
There's so many different flavors going on with it. Like
Yeah,
That sounds really good.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like,
you
it's
would
like
normally-
gin, usually it's like all about the botanicals, but like if you're talking about like a barrel aged on top of the botanicals,
I've never
that
even heard of
sounds-
it.
Right,
barrel
and
aged
it's not, yeah,
Never
and
even heard of
like a
it.
lot of their stuff. Like I prefer gin that's not super juniper forward. Like I mean, that is the definition of a gin, is something that has the juniper, has a notable juniper essence. But I'm
I
kind of like,
learned a lot about gin at that tasting.
yeah, we
too.
learned, yeah, we had a lot of different gins.
It
And
originally originated from the Dutch.
yes,
Didn't know-
not the
didn't know
British.
that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
I learned
It was
something now.
right. It was really cool. But I think that the takeaway of this is that since Jim's been dating me, that it's gone from like like what a purple person would have as a normal tasting into tastings at distilleries, and really like transitioning into a to much more destructive
snob,
level of alcohol.
A snob. I'm a snob. I'm a fucking snob. I'm just kidding.
Now, do you drink gin just by itself, or do you always usually have a mixer?
So
for
I
it?
never. Well, now, obviously, I like I said, I've never been, but with a big gin person, but with vodka, typically, when I'm trying to be somewhat good about, diet and stuff, I will just do a little bit of vodka with like a club soda and a little bit of lemon and lime juice, right? So, but with this gin, it's so fucking good that I've just been putting 2 shots of that gin in here and just filling the rest of my glass up with seltzer water, because I have that. Otherwise, like club soda or tonic water, whatever. So it's like typically I need lemon or lime to kind of like give a little flavor to
cut off the
gin.
the wince when you drink. Like,
but there's so much different flavor and stuff going on with this gin that it's so good all by itself. Like I would just drink it on the rocks if I didn't have to work tomorrow.
Okay, I got a dumb question, a dumb bar question. What's the big difference between club soda and tonic water?
Tonic has a flavor to it.
Yeah. So yeah, tonic water has quinine in it. It has a strong flavor. And it's usually sweetened too.
Yep.
So there's some sugars in it. So in fact, they would
if you tasted them side by side by themselves, you'd be like, "Oh, there's a total difference."
There's a huge difference.
Like the soda water is just like water that's bubbly.
Yeah, and the more subtle difference is between is seltzer water versus club soda.
I was going to ask that. What's the difference between them?
So there's this club soda adds it's like sodium bromide or something. The internet should tell us.
It's a mineral
We
flavor.
have soda water and mineral.
Yeah, so
maybe
seltzer.
mineral water is seltzer.
Yeah, seltzer is purely carbonated water.
Yep.
Whereas club soda adds this extra little, exactly, a little
There's like a
minerally.
mineral flavor to
It's
club soda.
very honestly, it's super subtle.
But tonic is totally different. There's like a citrusy.
Yeah, it's almost like
funky
saying
flavor
7
to it.
Up, right? Like you know, it's a huge, it's an
It's
entire.
like
I absolutely hate gin and tonics. I can't.
Yeah, I'm not a
stand
fan
it.
of tonics.
I like gin and tonics.
I like gin and tonics too.
You're
Right there with you,
fired.
Steve.
That was my intro
Ding.
intro to gin when I was
Something.
in my late teens.
That's why I swear I don't.
look at
I
that.
was
That
turned off.
subtle, like jab.
That's why I was turned off by gin, though, is because my first introduction to gin was a gin and tonic, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this tastes like
back
this
when
tastes
I was
like
a
garbage.
child, taste wise.
Yeah,
I
back when
too used to drink. Yeah, back when I was immature.
But here's the thing, though.
Before I was
When you were
even really
13?
able to drink.
That's right. Maybe one of you guys will get there eventually.
But here's the thing, though.
Well, you guys are drinking keg beer. I was
Yeah.
drinking gin and tonics and
Yeah, but
throwing
you
them
could
away
say the
going,
same
"Gross."
thing about beer, though, too. Like your first introduction to beer, you're just like, oh, and that.
Yeah.
And if you don't experience like something good, and you don't know that, then like that will always like affect your opinion. Like so, like
Coffee's the same way, right? Coffee's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
So just to bring it back to like a
Some
legal,
people never acquire it.
Yeah, and coffee is.
I hate it.
I still don't drink coffee.
Objectively, coffee tastes kind of gross, but once you realize there's a caffeine buzz associated with it, actually, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And same with just about every pre-workout.
But I think that really what my statement says is that when other people were drinking beer, even back then I was drinking hard liquor, which probably isn't a great.
That was for Dave for Buffalo.
All right, so wait, what's the best drink to make with gin then? If you don't like gin and tonics, what do you like to make with them?
Well, that's what I'm doing now. It's just
maybe I'm wrong, but is it used in a Manhattan?
No,
No.
that would be straight vermouth.
That's what I'm doing wrong.
But me and Carrie were gonna try this barrel gin with a Manhattan.
Yeah,
as a Manhattan.
Yeah, exactly, because it's so whiskey-like, so bourbon-like that we thought
maybe I can't make
it
a
would be
Manhattan. That's why mine tastes horrible. Maybe I gotta try one of yours.
Don't you just put it in my
challenge
taco?
accepted? We gotta get Mock onto a Manhattan.
All right, so I'm sure that Carrie has her own Manhattan. I'm sure Jim has his own Manhattan. I'm sure that I have my own Manhattan. I'm sure we can all put you back to back with different kinds
line
of
them up, and
Manhattan.
Mock will be trashed within an hour.
I guarantee, like all of us have different like things for like what we want to do for the Manhattan, but like I think that we could turn you on if you like whiskey. You will like one of our Manhattans.
All right, I'm in on that challenge.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Oh shit! All right, so
That's a
I
dangerous
have two
Yeah.
cans of beer that I'm bringing out to Grinkers this year because you're coming.
Fuck yeah, tickets are
Jerry.
booked and everything.
So I still have right down here in this fucking drawer.
Whoa, show us your
here.
drawers.
Open your drawers.
These two have been sitting here in the drawer.
Oh, I sent those.
Oh,
I
yeah.
sent those to Andrew. Those are shipped.
No,
He
these
brought
are
those-
the ones
he
that I
brought one
bought back
back, didn't he?
there, and
I shipped
I was
those,
there.
didn't I?
you ship
Those
these.
cans
Yeah.
look like they're about 5 ounces in your hand. when
Yeah,
you're picking them
I
up.
sat on those.
Like, are those little samples or
I
something?
sat on
They're
those
shot
for
glasses.
weeks
Shot
before I
glasses.
even
Shot
shipped them.
glasses.
So both of these will be coming out, and Chris
Nice.
and Jerry, you guys both need to be there when we open both of these cans.
Yeah,
We're
those
coming out
are
with
really
you.
expensive beers.
Nice
right
set of
there.
cans you got there.
Hey man,
I've had-
nice cans.
I've had the purple one. It's amazing. Like it is amazing. haven't tried the
I
other
have not
Yeah.
tasted either, so I
Amazing.
cannot wait.
It is.
It's like
Oh, it's
16
ridiculous.
bucks per can, right?
Yeah, they're really
and now
expensive.
they've
For
been
one
aged.
can.
They've now been aged for fucking
Yeah,
a year
year
so far,
or
yeah.
two.
Like a fine wine.
Yeah.
13% for one and 13%.
fuck.
They're both 13%.
So DJ,
Yeah.
remember
Might as
when
well
we
drink
went to
wine.
Modern Times? How much everybody
Yeah.
spent leaving that place? They're like, I spent $300. It's like what?
What was
A
that
beer?
big beer? Was it the peanut butter? There was, or what was it?
Oh
There was,
the Belching Beaver.
The Belching
That was
Yeah.
fucking
Beer.
amazing.
I love that. Andrew missed that
Yeah.
one. He was sleeping in my
Yeah,
house.
he was pretty tore up that day.
I was tore up.
Yeah.
I missed
Oh,
most of it. Was because we started Lost Abbey, and I love Lost Abbey. I've got fucking Lost Abbey.
Yeah,
in the
that was-
I've got that shit like reaching down into my beer fridge. Lost Abbey right there. I fucking love Lost Abbey. I could not stand being in that fucking place. I was so fucking tore up, hungover. I was like, I cannot smell.
You wanted to be there but couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have had
definitely
a
wanted to be
hangover,
there.
but you know.
Yeah,
My-
fucking Jerry. I agree. Crafty needs to add fucking Lover Boy to the bit kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably
I'm gonna have a dedicated cabinet for that one. Yeah.
That's why I said you could bring it to CAC, so it'd be a
Mark,
big hit.
Mark, can you draft up some artwork for that?
Lover boy.
Build one, that'd be fun. I have to bring
Well,
it to
that software, so why not? You know?
18 and up tent.
That'd be great.
It looks like a photo booth, you know, like you gotta go in there.
back room of
Beads.
drinkers.
There's a curtain of beads that you have to walk through.
Yeah.
to get to the cabinet.
like 70s beads.
Show your ID.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be funny. Everybody would be talking about that though.
That'd be
Just
a great
Lover
Atari
Boy.
2600 cartridge. I'm surprised there's not an adult Atari 2600 game.
Oh, like
for
beat
that.
him and eat him.
Yeah. Jesus.
Custer's Revenge. All those things. No, but if you had something like that at CAX with the little tent area, that'd be so funny.
All
They
those
probably-
what it like kicks. They're like rip-offs of kicks, but it's like nudie
all
pictures.
the nudie ones. Yeah, they
Yeah.
have a bunch of those too.
Uh-huh.
There's
Oh,
a
yeah,
great
there's a lot of those on Mega Touch too.
Gal's Panic or one of those.
on my MAME. I have one.
Fantasia, something.
No, Excelsior. You know that
Excelsior.
who is that always says that? Andrew, you know. Stan Lee always says Excelsior. Well, there's a game called Excelsior, and all it is this tree or a rock, and you're a character that just drills on the rock, and you have a jetpack, and enemies come from all over the place, and you can shoot them if you want to, but if you drill, you remove a piece of that rock. And as you remove pieces, it's a nude woman underneath there. But there's also, you can pick nude men too.
Oh, nice.
So they have six men to choose from, and like 47 women to choose from.
As long as one of the guys doesn't look gay, it's all good. just one.
Everybody's got a big old bush.
Merkin.
Merkins on each side of the thigh. Anyway, check out in MAME Excelsior if you ever get a chance, because that's a pretty funny game.
What's MAME?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that some form of toilet paper?
Masturbation. Not
all right.
sex.
So Dave from Buffalo isn't here, and Leo isn't here. But
Poor
they
Leo, he's
they got
good,
a
working
shindig.
hard.
They got a shindig happening this weekend.
They do.
Right?
Yeah, or next
In just
next
like a
weekend.
few days.
Way to bring it back.
Next week. Yeah, it's
Oh,
next
weekend.
Next weekend. Yeah.
Next weekend. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
I wasn't able to make it.
But it's
That's
2020. That's my goal for it's 2020 to go back to
The
Bro
other
Fest,
other.
or Sneak Fest.
Yeah, or go to Canada and go to like.
Oh,
Nacho-
that's happening for sure.
My wife wants to go to that trip, by the way.
So does mine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need to.
Yeah,
we need to figure
she
that
likes
one out.
Canada, so
That'll be fun. And Vancouver's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Will she cook for us? I'm just kidding.
Right? Yes, exactly. Yeah, we'll make her cook up in
Yeah,
Canada.
nachos.
Yeah.
Supreme, Andrew.
Cream
Whatever that
Supreme.
means.
Yeah, we just have to wait for the bar to be open at Orange Whip's place.
Yeah, you better buy a lot of
Should be
beers
soon.
He better.
Because originally he was going to
Yeah.
open without the
Or
without the
else.
bar, but then
Yeah.
I think
Whatever
now
He's gonna have
Then he
bottles.
realized probably, yeah.
yeah, it took so long for them to actually let him open it.
God, they'd suck over there.
Well, I think part of the issue with the booze is they weren't originally going to let them have the liquor license with a temporary period.
Right.
But then they flip-flopped, as all politicians do, and they said, okay, fine, you can have an alcohol license at the start.
Yeah. Yeah, or there
Yeah.
was some waiting period, but it's taken so long with all of the construction that.
Yeah, 3 months
I
turned
had
into
run.
like 12
poor
months.
Yeah.
or 15 months. I don't know. How long has he been working
It's
on it?
been
At least
while,
a year,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Forever.
Forever. Come on, Jimbo. You're up.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Sorry, I'm working on something I want to show you guys in a second.
Oh.
But,
yeah.
Forever.
Excuse me while I whip this out. All right, here you go.
Forever. Forever.
That's the long version.
That's like
never
an
get that one.
echo version.
Yeah.
But if you ever want to see beautiful Canada, the Maritimes.
You know, my wife's in Canada right now.
yeah?
Me. She went on a camping
Lucky
trip
girl.
with girlfriends. And I stayed home.
Canada.
Close enough. Yeah. So,
What province are they in?
So they're near. They're doing camping. So they're at a water creek or water.
Is that eastern or western?
They're southernmost Canada. So
Minnesota.
Seabark, do you know anything that's like?
Nice.
You know a lake called
Nice.
water
Sorry.
something water creek or
If I search water and creek, I'm going to get a lot of Canada.
it's something like that.
He narrowed down to a
He
province.
doesn't even know where his wife went.
Yeah.
She's up north somewhere.
My wife went to the United States because she went to Europe.
It's north
Yeah.
of Canada.
Where in
All
Europe?
all I know is there's no dinner.
So he didn't go. He's like, fuck that. I guess I
I'm
don't
the
have dinner there.
I'm the one eating the top ramen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You come in the house like whatever that movie was. You're like, honey, I'm home. I'm
Hello,
home. Like
hello.
waiting for your meal.
Yeah.
But about an hour later from the couch, you're like, honey,
Yeah.
honey.
is dinner on? I don't smell
What was that
anything."
movie? It started out Pleasantville. There we go. It started out
Pleasantville.
Pleasantville.
Oh, yeah, totally Pleasantville. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man.
The dude from Fargo.
Yeah.
Hey, Mach, do you recognize this? Do you recognize this character? The
awesome.
animation I've been working on, where Toki comes in and he, I wish I don't have this rendered at all.
Oh,
But
you have a
but,
preview? Is it
yeah.
anime?
yeah, oh yeah, it
But does it have to
He-
catch?
he breathe like it starts out with
Fire at the things. Boom,
yeah,
boom,
comes out and he let me just skip a few frames here. Let's see. Yeah,
That's cool.
he blows away. Yeah, the be right back.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yeah, and then after he's all done, he thanks for subscribing. He goes away. It's a really cool animation. This is for my live stream that I'm working on for when I have to walk away, and so
okay.
I'll be right back. So as a preview, this is what I've been working on today, today actually. That Carrie might recognize the character here.
Awesome.
So I'm let's see here. Let's see. Where does
This
he?
is After Effects, everybody.
I was gonna say, is that shotcut? That's like the cheap free
Can
version,
you,
right?
Jim? Can you present so that we're not cutting? I'm afraid to make any noise
well, I'm
so I can see your
screen
face.
sharing.
Yeah, I'll do that. Sorry, my
I
bad.
use a lot of After Effects at work.
Let
That's
me
all.
let's see here. Can I-
Wow.
This is
see
like
if I can-
great for doing animations and stuff.
Yeah, so the nice thing about Karate Champ is that I recorded here. Let me actually turn off.
And you don't even have a Karate Champ to do that.
Now the funny thing is, yeah, I know. Well, I had to use
Go film
MAME
it, Carrie.
to
You
pull
still have a
the
Karate
screen
Champ,
grabs.
Carrie? Yeah.
Did you get like the
No.
pixel set for it?
Yeah, well, no, I recorded with OBS some MAME clips.
Oh,
and
out?
and the
Mean
nice
Green
thing
in
about-
our IRC gym is
Yeah.
asking, where are you live streaming? And the answer is nowhere yet, right?
Not yet, but he's going.
No, so I'm working on. I gotta get this done
first.
I
Yeah,
gotta
I
get this done. I gotta get first I
Well,
got.
I'm trying to answer IRC.
Right. Oh yeah, no, I
Sorry, I haven't been
know that
paying
you know.
attention to IRC. I'm finishing up. I have the red tent to do, and once that's done, then I need to then I'll have all my games wired up to live stream. Then I'm going to it's gonna to make the long story short, it's gonna be a while. Because
Too late.
no, it's not that long. Wait, that's not what she said, is it?
Oh,
That was a clue joke.
So Jim, just to let you know that just to save you some time, because I know you had to export each one of these frames out and then cut them all out. There are pixel sets that show all the animations of all the characters for a lot of arcade games are already out there. So if you needed like all his moves, they're all already laid out on a template, and you can grab them. So it might save you a lot of time. I'll send you a link to it. It's
yeah.
People do that to create their own fighters and stuff, or make their own games.
So
it's a pixel set list. I think it's called.
Okay, that'd be cool. So Mean Green, I'm almost done with my setup for streaming. The thing is that after I'm being done with that, I want to do a video of my hardware and how I'm doing it. How I'm doing a direct feed, and then I'm going to be doing my plan. My plan is then after that video on my YouTube channel, then I'll do live streaming probably at least every other week, once or twice over the weekend. Because I like the idea that it'll give me an excuse to play my games more than I am. But Mock, what I was going to say, the nice thing about Karate Champ versus Toki, I had to rotoscope every fucking frame.
Yeah.
You're talking 60 frames a second, and it was ridiculous. But to be the thing is with that though is that they repeat frames with the animation. They're like him walking is probably only like, hey, can someone turn down their fucking shit?
That's my son. He just got home.
Oh,
he got the garage door
open. The garage door.
Shut the fuck up!
Yeah. There's no mute button on the garage door. Oh, I guess I can do that shit.
Censored version of some of my conference calls at work.
But so Toki, him walking is probably what is it, like 6 or 7 frames or different frames, but that span throughout the course of 30 frames, so like they repeat frames. So once I got that figured out, I had to mask those 6 or 7, then I copy those and move them over. But it was still a fucking painstaking process. And then the real bitch was when he's breathing fire, because that's what I used for that. And there's all these flames going, but there's you have to mask around each individual flame, and there's 3 going on. And, so that's it. But the cool thing about Karate Champ that I discovered today is that during the little training mode where you can practice moves right before you start playing, is that it's mostly on a solid background like this. And so I just used a green screen effect. And so after I keyed out the background and refined it, then it's great. And then I just needed to upscale him a little bit.
And then play. Press.
Let me well, I don't want you guys to have to wait for this to fucking
render or whatever.
Yeah, because it's got to and keep in mind that this is I'm remoted into my work computer. This isn't even my home computer.
Get the VPN going on.
Yeah. How about I show you when? How about you stop presenting me, and then I'll let you know when it's ready. So, actually, I should show you the Toki animation.
So
that'd
Jimbo,
be more worth it.
Just real quick, check out spritersresource.com. That's where you can get sprites of all different arcade games, and it's how people create their own little mini games or whatever. They use all the animations, all the frames of animation of all the sprites are out there for almost every arcade game. So I linked the one for the Karate Champ so you can just see it. So you can just see what it looks like. So it's a pretty cool resource. So you can check that out for any future kind of stuff you might do, for this. Might help you out.
Wow,
except
cool.
that the
pretty
thing,
fun.
Okay, now this isn't okay. So I'm looking at the Karate Champ one, but their sprite is this for what version is this? Because it's not the arcade one. I can tell you that.
It looks like it might have been a redraw for that one. Looks a little different.
The face and everything looks like it's like Commodore or something. Like it looks a lot different than than the arcade one.
Yeah, I wonder if that's the NES one. I bet.
Yeah, but I'll definitely. That's a cool resource, though.
I mean, it might not have it on this one, but they do have a lot. I mean, Toki. Let's look that up. See, T.
Oh, don't show me that. If that's there, then I don't want to. If all the works are even
too much work.
Yeah,
I'm done with that fucking thing.
Rather not know.
Yeah, but anyway, it's kind of cool. It might have something else you like though in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I see Toki. Oh, it looks like a weird version of it though. See, I don't know if this is. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's pretty cool though.
Turns out there's like a full art kit in there, Mock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Somebody redrew all the marquee and bezel.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, God damn it!
Here's all of that
motherfucker. Yeah, you thief.
I gotta add Loverboy in there.
Yeah. Big floppy dick. They should reskin the fantasy sword stage where he's got the sword and put a big wiener on there.
There's a shaking the sword. That is the worst drawn sword for a game, though.
A couple of random spurts here and there.
How is that supposed to look like a knife? That's like, it's just so bad.
Why is he holding it?
It looks like a big dildo. He's shaking it.
He's shaking it at his waist.
Shaking it left and right.
You've never held a sword before? What the fuck?
So Jim, that's gonna be cool though once you have all that going.
Yeah,
I
have about 7 or 8 games like game characters that I want to do, and so it'll be about 2-minute intermission video that I'll just put on a loop. But yeah, it starts with Toki, then it goes to Cry Champ. I'm going to do like a Galaga or something, and I have a bunch of ideas. I might even do a Rastan. Who knows? What? Yeah. I know. Like part of me is like, oh shit, I shouldn't do games I don't own, but at the same time, it's like, fuck it. You know,
I've got like 6 of those boards. I'll send one to you.
Nice.
I'll
throw it in my Arkanoid cabinet. I'll play it with a spinner.
With a spinner. Yeah, totally.
There you go.
Well, actually, I could play it. Oh, I could totally play it on Toki because it just needs 2 buttons, right?
Yeah, just sword and jump.
Exact.
That'd be
JAMA,
perfect.
both of them, exactly.
Yeah.
That was one of my dreams to have that in the same cabinet. I have the circuit boards, both of them. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
My only question is do you want Rastan Saga or Rastan?
Well, I think we know the answer. The one that's better. I don't know.
Yeah. Saga tells the story. Saga actually has the intro, and Saga is better. It's the same game.
Yeah, they added more in the Japanese one or something, right? Yeah.
The international version is Saga, and it has an intro thing, and the cutscenes on the US versions are the same thing. He says, what a brave warrior to have completed such a difficult stage. But in the Saga versions, like each one you kill is a different story.
Oh, okay.
It actually gets better. Yeah. Huh. But it's the one that I played that I think I beat live on the show 5 years ago or whatever it was.
Right. The show's been on for so fucking long.
I know. Jim, show us play some eyes, and what a waste of a show that was. I got drunk, but that was kind of a waste of the show because I wasn't really participating. Yeah. Now in hindsight, yeah,
it turns out.
Here, let me. I'll show you the only reason why I have this orange background is just so I could see the character. Otherwise, it's transparent.
Yeah,
so
it's hard on your eyes too.
That's cool.
That is very.
So
cool.
This is just the one for the high kick. Then I have been working on him just walking. Jump kick, I have these different moves because I want him to come into the frame and do a high kick with he's going to come from the right side, so he'd be kicking back would shatter, then he'd do a jump kick for right, and then he's going to do a walking lunge punch into B, so he destroys B right back, and then he does his little jumping thing. Where he if you beat the character, and then I'll have the thanks for subscribing, and then he'll do a front flip off the screen. So you know.
So
kind
are
of a
these
simple
just are these sets that you're compiling? Are they just comps, all of them for each thing they do?
For in this case, yeah. So for Toki, I found it easier to do a different comp for him jumping, because with Toki he comes into the frame, breathes fire to destroy the "Be Right Back" text, and then does his little little arm raise for thanks for subscribing, and then I have him jump off the screen. So depending on uh how much rotoscoping is involved, like how difficult it is. Sometimes it's just easier to break it up into pieces. So that's all. And then I'm using Trapcode's form for the text to have that destroyed, because like when he breathes the fire, I use their fire preset and have it it looks like it gets at the bottom, it gets hot, it gets red, and then it kind of disintegrates when he blows it away. So yeah, it's not real.
I love that stuff.
I'm just
Trap
saying,
Code's
there's
fucking
actually a
awesome.
great animation of Rastan just doing the sword attack up.
No, Andrew, that was actually I have actually thought about Rastan a little bit, and I was thinking
sword attack up too.
he could do. Yeah, I was thinking if he has, doesn't he have one that's got the a flaming sword?
Yeah.
So I want him. I was thinking he could come in. I want him to do the fireball sword attack at one of them, stab up at one, and then jump and swipe at the other.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great one, because he does actually a jump and then he does a turn thing when he jumps and does the attack too.
Yeah. So
nice.
Yeah.
So do you have a?
I'm
so
turned on like a flaming sword right now.
Yeah.
So when he's walking out, that's just like a looping comp of him walking. Is that what you have?
Yeah. So
and then you cut it to him to another comp of him like jumping or whatever. Then like you just layer in your comps for what they do, like walking, jumping, kicking.
He uses there's a lot of repetitive frames, so it's real easy to line them perfectly up, and then So I will let me pre-render the Toki bit, and you'll just get a sense for what it is. But I've got I want to do this for probably like 7 or 8 different titles that have different characters, and I'm trying to mix it up with like real old classic games like Pac-Man and Galaga and stuff, and then also like I actually one of them that I'm really excited about is I want to do Punch Out. The wireframe guy comes in and punches the Be Right Back and does like an uppercut and shit out. So I'm excited about that one, but I'm not looking forward to having to roto out all of the wireframe. But I think that'd be
how are you gonna do the inverted part of that? Oh Jesus!
But at the same time,
good, though.
But I'm really excited about it because I think that would be a really cool one.
That to do the
I don't know, but they're all recorded at 60 frames a second. But that doesn't. But the thing is, like, you look at Karate Champ, and there's maybe 10 actual different frames in that. So originally I was going to have the Karate Champ guy come in. There's when you get to the later stages when they're in the actual tournament, and both the characters, they walk in and then they bow and do their second position stance. And I wanted to have him walk in and do that and bow and then do all that stuff, but I don't have enough space with where the text is for that to work. So he's just going to walk in and start kicking the shit out of everything. But it's fun.
You should use that for your intro to Cobra Kai 2 review.
I still gotta watch those.
Oh, did you ever get that working?
I have it working out here, but I have to sit here in the garage and watch it, which is cool. I enjoy watching stuff out here, but it doesn't work on my couch.
That's weird. I wonder why.
Is it the format?
I don't know. I've watched a couple of the other ones, so I don't know, Jim. We can talk about that offline.
Yeah. Are those MP4s or are they MP4s or MKVs? MKVs. Okay.
Which ones-
MKVs have more trouble than MP4s. That's just that's just.
But it's coming through a streaming service. It shouldn't matter.
It
should just
shouldn't
play.
matter, but it works fine out here on the same streaming service as it does in my, on my couch.
And I can watch it anywhere. So I don't know why you're having issues. It's really odd. I'm wondering if it's the player. If it doesn't need to be updated. You might want to delete your. What are you running it on? Is it a smart TV?
No.
What are you running it on?
My main Plex player, which is an Apple Mac.
Oh, doesn't that normally transcode on the fly? If it doesn't,
I don't know how that works though.
Transcoding happens on the server.
Okay.
Because I just watched it on my Samsung Smart TV.
Well, so again on my Apple TV it works fine, but for some reason on the native Plex player on the Mac, which is more native than the Apple TV.
Yeah.
That's the server that I use. For some reason, when I play back, it just plays back the audio.
Weird.
Oh,
it turns it almost like it's an MP3 track. So it just plays it gives me like a sound bar, and it shows you the track playing as if it's like a MP3.
So who? Okay, so you've watched a few episodes. You haven't watched the whole season 2 yet, right?
I haven't watched any of it. I started watching the first one. Right?
Carrie, you watch it?
I've seen the whole thing.
Okay, how about Seabart? No? Okay, Jim, you've watched it all. How about Gak?
Which show is he talking about?
Cobra Kai season 2. Have you watched it all?
No, I haven't seen any of it, honestly. Yeah.
Not even first season 1?
I saw the first 2 or 3 episodes that were free without subscription.
Season 1's awesome.
I figured I would
season 1's amazing.
I would do the 30-day trial and see them all.
Yeah, you should, and just watch the whole. They're so quick to go. I mean, they're 20-minute episodes
mostly.
It's the first time I binged in one day.
Yeah,
took a day off.
Crazy.
Yeah,
took the day off. Was it a Wednesday?
Well, actually, no, I didn't take the day off. I worked. I worked remotely though. I actually did get shit done, but I wanted to get my review out at ASAP.
So you get out early.
Yeah.
Jerry, did you watch them all?
I haven't watched season 2 yet at all. So,
okay.
Yeah,
so we can't talk about it yet.
Yeah, I gotta
Shut up.
Yeah, we can't talk about it.
I literally have heard the first 5 seconds of the audio. It's like, fuck, I can't see it. So I turned it on.
Is Orange Whip in the IRC right now? I see an OW popped up.
Is that going to be an OW?
That's ow.
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 Like 2/3 as good as Jow, I guess.
Yeah,
that's pretty punny, dude.
Slick Nick says Cobra Kai was amazing. You heard it here first, folks.
Fucking right, he is.
Yeah,
it's a well done series.
I knew going into it, I was going to enjoy it regardless because I'm just such a Karate Kid nut. But it blew my expectations away. And I'm like, yay, because this means they can do multiple seasons. Yeah,
it was so good.
It's like a childhood
the
dream.
First season was amazing.
Yeah. You won't be disappointed with the second season. I can tell you that.
And I'm a huge fan there. I don't have the karate background, but I fucking love that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
I grew up in those movies. Those are fucking
huge.
Well, they do it justice. The writers of the show.
Yeah.
It feels like
you can tell that they are all super fans.
Yeah.
I mean, if you hear any interviews with them and they talk about how they would watch that movie as friends throughout college and stuff, and well, I mean, they got fucking Ralph Macchio and William Zabka, and if you hear interviews with the original cast, they talk about how they were approached, in the last 30 years, multiple times from people that wanted to do either a sequel or do something with that franchise, and they all declined because they didn't like the idea, and so they were on board with this because the writing was so good, and it shows.
I want to know, Elizabeth Shue isn't doing fucking shit right now. Get on the show already. Get on the show like everybody else, you bitch.
It would be good to see her again. Yeah.
You ain't doing movies anymore. There's no Hollow Man 2 coming out.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
It was Hollow Man 2.
When did Hollow Man come
Not
out?
For you. Not for you, Elizabeth.
Early 2000s, or was that 90s? When did Hollow Man come out? That was 2001.
There's no Piranha 4 coming out for you, Elizabeth Shue.
What was
She was
the Val?
in Piranha 3D.
What was the Val Kilmer movie that she was in? Saint.
Oh, The Saint.
The Saint. Yeah.
The Saint, yeah.
That was even earlier. No, the last movie I saw.
Actually, that movie had a
I
good
remember her in.
soundtrack.
Yeah, for sure.
No, the last movie I saw her was Piranha 3. Piranha 3, she was actually pretty good in it, but yeah, no, she's not doing anything.
No,
just make it. You know you're getting those phone calls. Just fucking.
Nick still has 4 of my top 6 scores on pole position. You can see it there probably, but yeah,
Reset him.
Oh, Nick came over and dominated.
No, it was from Cax from like 4 years ago or something. It was a while ago.
Oh, still in there, huh?
Yeah, he pretty much dominates pole position. Like,
yeah, that and Slicknick's really good at a time pilot too.
Yeah,
pretty good at pins too.
Yeah, that asshole.
Does he drink or what? Come on.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. Right, Carrie?
Totally. Yeah.
Go to your
you're coming to
Lakers
catch
games.
Slick Nicks. I'm turning the other way. I'm
Take you and your black cake and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Go watch some Lakers games.
Slick Nick.
Oh, too funny.
Pinball champ.
I don't ever play pinball. I don't know anything about what is this button. Oh,
what is this?
What's a
hit
flipper?
the silver ball thing. What is this?
Yes, exactly. We're on to you now, Mister
Loser bracket winner. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Again, I put Nick out the very first game. And he still came back and won the whole fucking thing.
I know. I played one of my favorite games. I usually dominate, and I choked it. We played. I usually play. We played. What is it? That cowboy game at Keys.
Stupid Cactus Canyon. I hate
Cactus Canyon. I usually dominate on that. I usually play it for like a really long time. Is this one of those times you walk up to a pinball and you just like choke really hard and drain? It's one of those kind of moments. Ugh.
That's pretty much most of my moments on it.
I already
like
beat
me with VR porn.
Yeah,
exactly. Oh, nice.
I lose every time. Drain.
Mr. Premature
drain.
for pinball.
Drain main vein.
Drain main vein.
Yeah. So I already beat Monster Bash, by the way. Did I tell you guys that?
Did you?
Yeah.
So you're done with it? You're gonna sell it now?
Yeah, I'm gonna sell it now.
I'll take a half price.
I already I got like a.
Get yourself a real game like Black Knight.
I got like a $500 million 500 million point score on that, and I'm like, should I go for $1 billion? Is that when I should like go for it? I don't know, but no, I already got I got all the instruments, I got all the monsters, I got the whole thing, and it makes me realize that like 90s pins were made to be like beatable, I guess, because they're made for like more of a outdoor environment, not a home environment. And like the new pinball that are for home are a lot harder and more things to do in them and stuff, you know. So yeah, that's kind of something I'm kind of discovering.
Is that the real J-Rock in our chat? I wonder.
Sounds like it.
Like the actual real deal J-Rock. We should get him to like, pop in here with us. I want to hear some stories. Right? If it's legit, not fake J-Rock. I don't know if there is one or not, but
he was
he says yes, it's me.
Yeah.
It's me.
He's actually here.
It's me.
Come on the show. Give us discounts.
All right. Let's see. Should I PM him the link at 11:22?
Do it.
That's a
but
terrible idea.
it's your call. Or
No,
J-Rock.
Well, I need to make another drink. If that's
J-Rock, I don't know if you drink or if
Free
you're a
shipping.
babbling idiot like the rest of us. Well, myself mostly, but
Speak for yourself there, buddy.
Are you a babbling idiot?
Oh, he'll give us free shipping. Woohoo! All right.
Bonus.
Is that free shipping to Australia? No.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I shipped my stickers to somebody in Australia. It costs $15 for something that should cost $1.
Wow.
Oh, speaking of which, I have a commercial, by the way. I got a commercial.
Oh, nice.
All right, so
just real quick before we change subjects, J-Rock or Andrew, maybe I won't remember in the morning. somebody maybe let's reach out to J-Rock and try to get him on with us next week. If J-Rock's
come on over. Come on over.
Stories, because I'm sure he's been around a lot and can tell some good stories. So yeah.
I'm still selling Monster Bash decals, so I got 3 left. If anybody wants them, they're on Etsy. I've sold a couple on there already. Sold a few on eBay. Sold a bunch on Pinside. So Keith and I only made like a certain amount. We probably won't make any more. So if you guys want them, there they are. There's a link in the IRC if you guys are interested. Maybe I should put it on the.
Does that work for both, or just the remake?
Yeah, no, it works for either one. Yeah.
It's pretty much the same layout, right?
Oh, I can't post the link in a YouTube chat because it says too many characters.
Hey, J-Rock, would you please take over that Nazarene Multiverses Nintendo project?
Someone?
We're gonna have a lot of requests.
Damn it! I won't.
I know, because I've been
sick of
pestering
this
Crafty
shit.
for like 6 years now.
Yeah. I'm so sick of like false hopes. Just get the shit done.
Yeah.
I don't care.
agree.
Charge
Right. Get another beer, yes or no? That's the question.
Well, wasn't he originally going to charge like $400?
Shut the show down. He never came up with a price. Nope.
Oh, I thought it was. For some reason, I remember $400.
There were rumors, but never anything confirmed as far as prices. No.
All right.
The thing was like it was going to be expensive, and you did have to buy 2 for a versus, and so people made speculations.
That's right.
That it would be expensive, and to buy 2 of them to get one red tent going would be very expensive. But
well, and J-Rock's got that. I always forget about that, about how much of dicks Nintendo is, and they'd probably sue everything.
Yeah. Which he just
there is that.
Yeah.
Well, J-Rock, we'll talk offline, and you can.
We'll just do this under the radar, and we'll sell it as an Arcade Hangout branded board.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll take all the potential legal ramifications. Anyway, let's go ahead and shut the show down. It's late. It's
wait. Hang on a second. Can we chat for like another 5 minutes? This animation's almost done pre-rendering.
All right.
I'll show you. Or wait, I can show you the Toki thing.
Okay, I'm gonna do a quick show off. I got a game the other day.
Perfect.
Drop your pants.
I don't know if you can see it or not. It's probably all blurred out. Or
some kind of rally, something or other. What's that?
Yeah. Let me see if I can adjust the screen down here.
Pac-Man cabinet.
It's a fancy glass you're drinking out of, Andrew.
So he's
a fancy man. The fancy man.
Let me see if this is.
It's more of this shit that I shouldn't be drinking.
There we go. That's a little better. So Rally X. That's what I got.
Oh.
Picked up a Rally X.
I played on 16.
Literally like 2 miles from my house, and I forgot. I drink, so I forget things. But about 2 or 3 weeks ago, this popped up locally on Let Go for like a fucking $100, and I missed it. And I'm like, I posted on the NorCal thread. I'm like, all right, which one of you bastards grabbed this out of my backyard, But it turns out, so this guy just listed it for sale on Sunday with a couple other games, and he's local too. I like, so that guy got it, in our backyard too. But he's not an arcade guy. He's a console guy. So a nice guy though. But yeah, so it was kind of interesting talking to him. But I obviously paid more than he paid for it. But I still feel like I made out all right. I mean, it's fully working.
What'd you pay?
Huh?
How much?
I can't. More than $100. That's all I'm saying right now.
$125.
Yeah.
So what number did you tell your wife?
Yeah.
I didn't. So that's why I'm kind of like pleading the fifth right now.
Yeah, don't post it online. So yeah.
Because she watches the show.
Yes, exactly, right.
Well, it looks like the monitor doesn't need a cap kit, so you came out ahead right there.
I'm pretty sure it does. So I'm
not doing a cap kit when I come to you.
I've yet to actually use this thing, but I have one. I was like,
well, the first step towards victory is you need cables.
Okay, got that.
9-volt battery.
Yeah.
Hold on.
A working 9-volt battery.
Got all the cables in here, if you can see that.
There's still a solar package.
Still a package. Yeah. So I don't know if I'll actually try to use it on this, but hopefully. But the white letters look correct, but like when he shows the smoke, I always thought the smoke was more of a white color.
No, it's brown.
Okay,
isn't it?
Or not yellowish. See it there?
Yeah, it looks. I think it looks right.
Okay. So
Well,
the weird thing.
I mean, that's gonna be like a. It's not gonna be a monitor issue.
That looks right to me.
Yeah,
it looks all right. Okay.
I never played it on the 16.
Well, I adjusted it as best I could, just kind of like walking
yeah.
around to the back, then walking in front.
I used to
last
play it a
night.
lot. I used to play that a lot when I was a kid. That looks all correct to me.
Okay.
yeah, and if the that would be like the sprite issue. That wouldn't be a monitor
So,
issue.
you know,
if
you
if
can
like
see
the white
like
aren't
the,
white.
maybe you can't quite. Yeah, you can see the artwork over here. It's kind of blown out a little. You know, the silk screen that's on the back of the glass kind of flaking, but you know that's fine. The actual monitor area, it doesn't have like bad scrapes or whatever, so I'm fine with the artwork kind of looking shitty. But okay, let me say this real quick. So down here, I don't know if you probably can't quite make it out. There's a credit button
Coin
here.
door. Oh,
Somebody installed the credit button on the coin door, but when I looked at the back, there's a dip switch sheet in the back of the cabinet, and there's a free play setting for this game.
They didn't know. They didn't know you could do
so
that.
much more work.
What a dumb.
Maybe
I know. My elevator action is the same way. Like they have this like these bare wires and like there's a free play.
You idiot.
Now, okay, so with Taito games,
Taito.
I used to have a front line, and if I put that into free play, it was just a black screen with white letters that said like, you know, press start or something like that. I don't know if all the Taito games do that or not, but that might be the case in this, and maybe that's why they did it, because it still has a track mode. Because a lot of times for free play, it'll just sit there on the start screen saying, you know, press start. But okay, so I'll play a game real quick.
Yay!
So I think I got my highest score just last night, which was.
Is it done rendering yet, Jim?
It is actually.
Well, feel free to cut me off. And,
like, God damn it!
Boring. You know, who wants to see me crash and eat shit anyway? All right, so that was my quick game get.
I was joking.
Oh,
Jack.
play.
I was joking.
But I already died. So all right, so
it's all right. You're not going for our like world record.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
How does this game work?
Yeah, you collect stuff.
Yeah, so there is a
Collect gas
on the right side of the screen there. Shit. So on the right side of the screen here, it has like a map of where you're
It's
going.
a radar. You actually see the enemies in it too.
Yep, exactly. And I don't know if there is a necessarily a pattern. But there is a flag that will give you double score on all of the flags. So you know, if you can get that early on, it'll really give you a lot better score.
The enemies definitely feel like they have a pattern to how they chase you, though. Nah.
But if you can get the special flag, it'll double your score on all the other flags for the whole level.
So it's good to get that one first if you can find it.
And then I think every third screen-ish is the bonus level, where you just go around and collect the flags as quickly as you can before your fuel runs out.
So, Gak, do you know what is the difference between this and Super Rally X? Like, what do they do different?
A new Rally X, isn't it?
Yeah. Or new Rally X, I mean.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of is maybe...
A lot harder, I thought.
Yeah, that's my thought. Like, kind of, you know, people were mastering it too quick, maybe, or...
Playing it too long.
Too easy, too quick, so they upgraded the chipset to make it harder and just called it New Rally X. And have all the operators up. I'm assuming that's what happened. But
yeah, because it is a little easy on certain ROM sets. I know that. You can play it longer.
Yeah. But I think the world record, that happened at Brofest 2, maybe? Do you remember, Andrew? What's the guy's name on the East Coast? Steve
W?
Steve W, yeah. Steve W.
Oh, Steve Wagner.
Wagner, there we go. Steve Wagner. It was like 240-something thousand.
That guy's insane, though.
And it happened while we were at Brofest, and the prior world record, I guess, was the owner of FunSpot. Do you remember that? Like, so So the guy, the old timer guy, who's like 80 or something.
Yeah.
He was the world record holder on Rally X, and then Steve Wagner broke it at Brofest 2, I want to say.
We've got
3,000.
what's his name? John McAllister and Dwayne Richards coming over here at the end of the month for a Galaga competition. So
oh boy,
that'd be interesting.
Boring.
Yeah.
Didn't McAllister win drinkers comp or something?
Yeah, I think he won.
Yeah,
He's won before, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
All right,
Oh, all right.
Well,
let's see your animation.
All right, here we go,
All
Jimbo.
right, I'll just scrub through it because I don't think that this is going to otherwise translate very.
Be right back.
Oh, wait, sorry, I need to present.
Hold on, Jim.
Yeah.
All right.
Ready?
Yep. Be right back. Disintegrate those letters.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very cute.
Yeah. So that's yeah. So that's
way above my pay grade for anything.
So,
right.
So Jim, did your work pay for the Red Giant software, or did you pay it out of your pocket?
Well, I own it already, so I just moved the license. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
Because like they put out new versions of it too. It's like I got to get ours updated because it doesn't work with the latest After Effects that we have.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They keep updating it for that, and there are kind of ways around it, depending on like with how you move the folders but yeah, and that's not a cheap fucking plugin. But
it's so expensive.
But it's so good. That's the problem.
I know
like,
it is really good.
Like Particular is fucking awesome all by itself.
Yeah. I gotta have
There's
that.
so much you can do. Yeah. But
Yeah,
anyways, I'll
generator for the people listening.
Anyways.
You can do snow, you can do smoke.
Yeah, and there's so
stuff.
many tutorials. Like that's the thing though about that plugin. You can stop presenting me. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry.
But
I like to look at you.
Yeah, but it can be pretty complicated. Like there's so many different controls and stuff. I usually have to watch like just a basics tutorial. Or something just to get the thing going, and then a lot of it's just experimenting.
Well, the thing with that though is like you'll forget. You'll you won't touch that plugin for like a year, and then you're like, oh wait, I know I have a plugin for this, and then like, oh fuck, I don't know how to fucking run this thing. So you got to like look at a tutorial online. Thank God for YouTube for that stuff, because
no shit.
Yeah, like oh that's right, that's right.
Thank God for fucking Andrew Kramer.
Yeah, Andrew Kramer's a god.
God damn, that guy's a genius.
So for those of you that don't know who Andrew Kramer is, he started out just as a regular dude that just liked to edit fun videos, and he's caught the attention to like Hollywood, and he does a lot of like credit sequences now for like major motion pictures.
He's big into motion graphics.
Yeah, so he's like the master at it. And he has free tutorials. They're still free. And like stuff like just little dumb things like in The Mummy where they had scarabs underneath the skin going up your arm, like they'll show you how to do that.
Yeah.
Oh wow. That's cool.
If you want to show how people get hit by cars, like in what was that Brad Pitt movie where he got hit by like 12 cars, and bounced all over him?
Joe Black.
Yeah. He shows you how that effect's done, like what the process
he did one for how they he did one to recreate. He does a lot of title effects, and so he did one for how he did a way of recreating how they did Tron Legacy title.
Oh, I haven't seen
which is really cool. And it's all done. It's not even 3D. It's all done with 2D layers.
Yeah, I'm watching that.
So
it's fucking awesome.
I actually used him recently because I'm doing a lot of underwater effects for this project I'm working on at work, and he has some great tutorials on like how to do like underwater submarines and how to do effects in there. So I'm doing all that stuff, and it looks so awesome. He's just really good.
Anytime that I need to do something that requires like a displacement map, I'm like, I gotta go watch one of those tutorials.
Yeah. He's good though. So, and not only that, but you could do your own like tweaks to it for what you need. So,
Oh yeah, that's
yeah.
usually what it is. It's just
Yeah.
you're using it as a starting point, and
Yep.
then it's like I need to just
tweak it from there. Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway,
Cool.
all right, we're enough.
The fight, Mox,
Shop
did you
talk.
ever own After Effects like textbooks? Because like
a long time ago, yeah,
I had like
they're a
whole
nightmare.
Oh, they are. They were done by was it Trevor
Retard,
and Linda
yeah.
or something? I can't remember. Yeah, I used to, and I had all these fucking bookmarks. I still have those.
They were
somewhere.
so hard to translate. It's so much easier to learn by watching a video.
They're written by
Like,
O'Reilly.
yeah, you
By
can
O'Reilly.
learn something in like 3 and 2 minutes on YouTube compared to looking at a book and take you about an hour and a half to figure it out. You know.
Well, yeah.
Figuring out to the pages. Ugh.
Yeah, it's mostly text. They have little screenshots, but that's about
I love it when they tell you to select a certain button, but they don't tell you where the button is. So it's like, what fucking menu is that under? What tab is that under? I don't know. I gotta look at all of them, and then maybe it's in a sub menu. Jeez.
Well, and with all the updates and the changes, like
and it's different. Yeah, it's in a different spot.
Fucking
That's my favorite. That's the 3D world right there. Is everything's in a different spot than what the tutorial is that you're looking at. Yeah, ugh, it's awful. All right, enough shop talk.
Wrap it up.
It's like you guys are at work.
Yeah.
All right,
Jim and I do a lot of the same things.
This was episode 169.
Dudes.
Yay!
69, dudes.
Oh shit! We're about to re-record. I just realized my coffee cup was in the scene.
Oh, all right.
People talking in movie shows. People smoking in bed.
Oh, shit.
People voting
Republican. Give them a boot to the head.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we're wrapping it up, right?
No, we're
No.
starting the show over. Steve's about to do the intro again.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to the Arcade Hangout.
Yep.
Round 2 after hours.
People talking in movie shows.
The drunk edition.
It just gets worse from here, folks.
The pee our pants while we sit here edition.
So, everybody, Grinker's Grand Palace, we're doing a arcade event out there in October.
If you want to come meet, your idols here on the show.
Would you like to be embarrassed in person? As much as you're embarrassed
the most perfect bodies of all time. Yeah.
I'm sure I'm all embarrassed
Autographs
myself.
only cost you a $1 beer, right?
Yep.
You shit your pants and have a boner.
Yep. All things are possible at Grinker's Grand Palace.
In the same room. Yeah.
Preferably.
Andrew can watch you take a shit.
Yep. I promise that I
In
will.
the stall. You fall asleep on the toilet.
I've heard of beer goggles, but Andrew's got shit goggles.
Unintentional shit goggles where now I'm taking a leak and I look at the
Shoggles.
wall and you're taking a
Shoggles.
shit.
Andrew's like, I just want to see if your dick's bigger than mine.
It turns out it is.
Drinks on me, but I can't have a boner. That's what I'm not even going to repeat that handle. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, what is that handle? I595.
Yeah,
Well, as far as water displacement's covered, I think I got you guys. I retain water like a motherfucker.
And Steve's all, stop shitting. I can't piss except hitting the wall.
Irene, why am I peeing like I was up all night having
exactly
sex?
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't for you. Let's get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, do it.
Till next time.
Bye, everybody.
See you guys
Night.
later.